بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا الشمس كورت وإذا النجوم انكدرت وإذا الجبال سيرت وإذا العشار عطلت وإذا الوحوش حشرت وإذا البحار سجرت وإذا النفوس زوجت وإذا الموءودة سئلت بأي ذنب قتلت وإذا الصحف نشرت وإذا السماء كشطت وإذا الجحيم سعرت وإذا الجنة أزلفت علمت نفس ما أحضرت فلا أقسم بالخنس الجوار الكنس والليل إذا عسعس والصبح إذا تنفس إنه لقول رسول كريم ذي قوة عند ذي العرش مكين مطاع ثم أمين وما صاحبكم بمجنون ولقد رآه بالأفق المبين وما هو على الغيب بضنين وما هو بقول شيطان رجيم فأين تذهبون إن هو إلا ذكر للعالمين لمن شاء منكم أن يستقيم وما تشاءون إلا أن يشاء الله رب العالمين.
Whoa, what's up? Happy Friday. What's going on, everybody? You know the first order of business, right? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if the sound is good. Let me know. How am I gonna do this? Yeah, we do it like that. So let me know if y'all can hear me. Thank you. Everything is everything. Appreciate everybody coming through. DeLeon, what's happening? Janine, what's up? Yeah, we're gonna take the throne. Miss Rhett, what's happening? Indigo Earth, what's going on? Indigo Earth Angel, seem like long time no see. Ahmed, what's happening? What's going on? All right, what's happening, everybody? Juma Mubarak, Shalom Shabbat, happy Friday. Right? Man, thank you so much for tuning in. Do me a quick favor, everybody, please click the thumbs up button immediately. If you haven't, please click the thumbs up button for me and whatnot. Dr. Quantum, what's happening? Yeah, man. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Yusuf, what's going on? Man, we're gonna have a heart-to-heart conversation today. This wasn't on the regular scheduled program, as I've been in the soulmate thing, showing you the beautiful concepts from both Zohar and Quran and interweaving those two and whatnot. So today we're gonna have a great conversation about this 3-hour Atlas, missiles from God. Yeah, I think that this verse right here that says, "O company of jinn and mankind, if you're able to pass beyond the regions of the heavens and earth, then pass. Go ahead." Right? You will not pass except by authority from Allah. Now, it's clear from the Quran that you can have permission to pass beyond the regions of the heavens. You can get that permission. What I'm going to tell you today is not coming from a place of arrogance. It's not coming from a place of ego. It comes from a place of ultimately bringing us back to the knowledge of the true and living God today. I'm not going into old relics. I'm not just specifically staying in the book. I'm going to cross-reference the book to show you how it is applicable today. So I've been granted permission to go into these regions of heaven by no other than the Creator himself, because we're nothing more than vessels. And as the Christ says, you talking to you will do greater things than I. Okay. That is an ability that we all have if we choose to surrender. And surrender in Arabic simply means Islam. That's all it means. Peace as well, right? So I've been granted this permission. It saddens me. It saddens me. I have a friend. They was in church, and when they came into what we call the conscious community and the different understandings of the Bible, this made them upset with the church and the way that they teach. And on the journey, I remember asking them to pray, and they were vulnerable enough to share with me their truth, which is I forgot how to pray because the new information was conflicting with the old information. But although in the old state, when you pray to an externalized Jesus in Jesus' name, you were manifesting things. So your belief is the ultimate power. What did the Christ tell the lady who touched his garbs? Like, oh, you healed me. No. Your belief in me is what healed you. This is what Christ says. So your belief is the fuel, no matter if you're going to externalize it or internalize it as the true and living God inside of self, in which the scripture points to that as well. Yes. And what I would like to do is bridge the gap, because when we truly understand that there has always and can only be one true and living God, then there is no need to be upset and be fragmented by what the Catholic ideology is across the street at this Catholic church versus Islam or versus the Jew. And I just want to keep it within those three, because these three that come from the same source, and I'm talking biblical Jehovah, Allah. So biblical Jehovah gets to cover the Jew, the Hebrew Israelite, the Christian of the New Testament, the Christ believers, and Allah covers the Quran. And all of those, if you're a Muslim, you know better. You have absolutely no room to talk about nobody's faith when you believe in more Jewish prophets than Islamic prophets. Yes? The whole book of the Quran is a continuation of the Bible. So you better sit down. You cannot have that attitude. Yes? So there can only be one true and living. And what I find interesting, I'm going to play a quick video for you. Where is that video at? Of a Jewish man telling you this belief. Yes?
Do we pray to the same God?
We have the same God as the Arabs. We believe in the same God, one God. They come from the children of Abraham, of Yishmael. We come from Yitzchak, and they come from Yishmael. Allah is taken from the name from Elikah. Elikah, which is, we use that word all the time. The Christians believe in the Trinity. It's a part of it, their God, who's the JC, we call him. That's not our belief at all. We're not allowed to believe in anything like that. But we have in common, we believe in the same God. Allah. That's the Arab's God, the same God that we have.
You hear that? So a real Jew He knows. He told you that Allah comes from Elikah. They know it's the same God. I've shown you once again my favorite age, the golden age of Islam, the Moors, the Jewish golden age prospered within that time. They know this as a truth. They know it because if they say, hey, if we play by the Bible and we go with Ishmael is from, he was given the wilderness of Paran or Paran, however you want to pronounce that. This is known as the Arabs today and whatnot. And the Bible says to the Arabs with Ishmael, I am going to bring 12 princes from him. Yes, I'm going to make this. A great nation as well. But my covenant is going to be with Isaac. But I'm going to make this a great nation. The Quran says that if we wanted to make you one believing community, we could have. But you are to race in righteousness and compete in righteousness for my name's sake. That's what you're supposed to do. There's a prophecy in Isaiah that says the Egyptians, the Muslims in a sense as well, and the Jews, it's going to be a coming together. And it is clear that the satanic force fears such thing. But I would like for you not to be under the persuasion of just because you in the church, you can't understand the message in reality of God. What do I mean by reality of God, Noble? You never had the basic common sense question that, well, God allowed Islam to be a religion. Hey, Muslim, you never had the common sense question that when Islam came to America, it was a different form of Islam? Nation of Islam, Moorish Science Temple of America, a different version of Islam. And within the Nation of Islam, at the passing of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, may the peace and blessings be upon him, when his son had the reign, Imam Warif-Din, and he said, hey, let's turn to the Eastern Islam. And this is really, if you ever been to Philadelphia, Philadelphia is like a black Arab Muslim country. You think these black people look like Arabs, you know what I mean? Dressed like them, everything. They from North Philly, South Philly, West Philly, right? That comes from the Nation of Islam and Imam Warif-Din Muhammad at the core. So you think Allah wouldn't use let's just call it a off-brand version of Orthodox Islam to fit the current time of the 1930s, and then 40 years later in the 70s, when Imam Warif-Din gets it, reverse the attention back to the Eastern Islam, and now you have probably millions of people who follow that now, yes, from America, turning back to it. You think that God is not the author? See, this is my thing. We act like God is not the author of all things, and is creating a severe, what's the word people use? It's creating it's a severe disconnect. Okay, and we gotta cut it out. All right, we gotta cut it out. All right. So let me bring your attention to some things, just to spice it up as an appetizer. Jay Electronica, Jay Elect, was born September the 19th, 76. And Jay Elect knows and feels that he was sent from God, because God is the author of all things, on the precise day that the Tehran UFO incident occurred on his birthday. He's a baby. He fresh out the womb, September 19th, 76. As this young man grows up, he's going to find a teaching, Nation of Islam. And within those teachings, he's going to come into a story, a concept, a reality called the mothership, the mother will, that has baby planes. Then somehow he's going to find out that on his birthday, when he arrived, these planes actually made themselves known. They became visible. It became an incident. So then the logical question should be, are you sent to make a connection to deal with that in the future? Logical question. Here's a better question. His partner, Mr. Jay-Z, I arrived on the day Fred Hampton died. Yes, the very day, not different year, the same day, same year that Fred Hampton, chairman of the Black Panther Party in Chicago, yes, gets murdered by the police. Jay-Z mom is pushing him out of the womb. So then the question I could have would be, well, is God mighty enough to possibly take Fred Hampton's spiritual essence of spirit and bring it right back through Jay-Z and potentially continue a form of revolution in a different manner? Just a question. Just a question. Just a question. Maybe it's corporate takeover. Maybe it's not streaming on Apple and let me do Tidal. Who knows? Just a question. Is God that smart? Yes. So then I can hear the Muslims saying, well, shut up, Muslim. Because in that Quran, it tells us that we bring you forth to live, you die, we bring you back again, and then you come back to us. That's 2 times. But you think it's talking about a heavenly resurrection. So then I have to ask the question, if it's a heavenly resurrection, and y'all forgive me if I'm talking to the Muslims right now, why are your bones needed in heaven if it's talking about an ethereal form? Oh no, brother. It's talking about at the very end of days, the very last day of creation, Allah's going to reunite the bones and you're going to stand up out the graveyard. That's what it's talking about. You're worse than the kindergarten. I promise you, with all due respect. Let me bring your attention to a Netflix special that ran called Surviving Death. Because see, we're going to have to deal with this. We're going to have to deal with this. In Netflix special Surviving Death, I just want to point out one situation. Erica Alberry and her son Atlas, Three-Eye Atlas, Atlas Alberry, were featured on this Netflix special. And Atlas Alberry has a clear memory and experience of being a Black little child named Jalen Robinson. Go look into it. The mom, Erica, is hearing this, putting the pieces of the puzzle together. He's saying, no, my mommy, my other mommy, she was so pretty. She was Black, right? I was killed by a babysitter. And she started looking and find the story, find the actual story that took place in New York, and everything checked out. They're studying this phenomenon at the University of Virginia called the DOPS program, the Department of Perceptual Studies. Now, if, let's just say for the record, Muslim, if this is true, where is that reality in the Quran? Because something as serious as reincarnation, you think that it wouldn't be in the spiritual text of the Quran? Now you got to make this make sense. Because we're going to say that the Department of Perceptual Studies, and I can give you another case, James Lingener, yes, the World War II little boy, famous story, it's on YouTube. Famous little boy, he having nightmares about crashing in a plane. He was a pilot, knew everything about planes. It wasn't, his parents is blown, baffled. How he knows so much about these airplanes? They start doing the research on what he's telling them. Come to find out, he was stationed in Japan. And his airplane crashed right there. It was surviving people from that war. And said, yeah, it was a guy named James, and he crashed right there. Took the little boy to go meet the pilot James' sister. Little James now knows, hey, do you still have that box that mommy had? She's like, oh, yeah, it's right here in the room. This is documented. We have to grow up, people. We have to grow up and come into the truth of reality as it pertains to God's reality. It's only one reality. Yes? All right. And they often interface and are connected with each other. Okay? So we got to come to this truth. All right? So if you're a Muslim and you hear this, you have to at least, and when I say this, I'm saying this nicely. You have to put ego down, religious belief and dogma down. And I want you just to say, let me go look at these stories, and these stories check out as fact, and then compare that to the Quran, particularly Surah 75, the resurrection, and see if it makes sense now. Because this stands as a matter of fact that really, honestly, cannot be disputed, because you have children who have these memories that now check out to a story that they was not a part of physically in this, what we call current timeline. Okay? So sit on that. All right? All right. So 3-eye Atlas missiles from God. Yes? Y'all ready? All right. Here's a beautiful saying from the Quran. And we have adorned the lowest heaven with lamps, and we have made such lamps as missiles to drive away the evil ones. This is in Quran. The lamps, stars, are missiles to drive out the evil beings. Have you ever heard stars talking like this? Anybody talking about the stars like this? It's different. That's why I call it the cosmic Quran. What? You made them as missiles? Yeah. Let's look into that. As you see the word missile in red at the bottom, let me turn this fan off. So we look at the word missile. The root word is rajim, mean. Rajim. Yes. Rajim means missiles. When we go take rajim, at the very top, you see stoning, you see missile. In the middle, you see shooting stars and meteorites. Oh, we're going to come to that. A meteorite that hit Georgia. We're going to come to that. Yes. What do it say at the bottom? To predict the future. It does. Yes, it says that. To predict the future. Yes. So this is missiles, shooting stars. Okay. When we take Rajim over to the lexicon, what do you get? The accursed one, which represents Satan. And this is why you hear in Islam, or you heard in the prayer earlier, what do it say? Shaitan Rajim, Rajim, the accursed one. But when you look at Rajum, which has the same root word at the bottom, it's shooting stars, just like you saw in the dictionary. Yes? Yes. So I'm telling you this. The Quran gives us instruction on starlight, on expelling and whipping what we call the devil's ASS. I'm not going to curse today. I'm going to try my best not to curse today. Okay? That's in Quran. Okay? All right. Now let's go to the Bible and read Ephesians 6:12. We're going to read it from left to right at the very top. Because not is to us the wrestling against blood and flesh, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers of the darkness, this against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realm. This is in the Bible. So the Bible says evil forces are in the cosmos. It's a cosmic power that you're fighting against. And this is in the heavenly realm. The Quran, which says it's the same God, says, hey, these stars in the heavenly realms, we use them to defeat evil. Boy, y'all have no idea what these scriptures be talking about. Okay. All right. So let me give you some examples. Okay. 7/11, Stump Off, Stone Mountain, 2015. Who's on the target? The KKK. Yes? Ku Klux Klan. See, ladies and gentlemen, if the war is spiritual, because that's what the Bible say, that's what Quran is saying. If the war is spiritual, then you have to do spiritual things. Now, that does not mean that it is not a physical thing that's going to take place. Quite the contrary. A physical thing is going to take place. But you have soldiers for that. Yes? Okay. All right. So, moving on. What happens? Well, that Friday when we got into town on July the 10th, the Confederate flag at Stone Mountain, they say, was stolen. It wasn't stolen. It wasn't stolen. It wasn't stolen. See, do you possibly think that on 7/11 we saying it's the Stump Off, and 7/12 we're going to go to Stone Mountain? Do you think we didn't advertise this months in advance? Do you possibly think, well, it said the flag was missing on 7/10, Noble. Do you possibly think we didn't advertise this in advance? You know good and well we advertise this in advance. The only thing I got to do is just scroll the timeline and go all the way back and show you, but that's irrelevant because it don't even make sense. How you gonna know where to come? You think I'm gonna post it the day of? No. So how is it that when we aiming at the KKK, and we get into town, the flag mysteriously goes missing? The mission was already complete once we got there. We didn't have to do nothing else. See, this is why I want you to understand closely. Once the petition and the decision was made, man, it was like God couldn't wait. It was like, okay, go, beat you. Go home. You ain't even gotta go. Got you. Yes? Let's keep going. That Saturday, 7/11, when we came, me and Jew went over to FedEx, Kinko, something like that, to get some copies printed. And then we went over to Old Navy. And when I came out of Old Navy, when we came out, this lady was driving this trailer called Aquarius Magic. And I couldn't believe my eyes, ladies and gentlemen, because God has been so gracious. So gracious. I'm here on spiritual business. Y'all saw the flyer. I'm here to annihilate the Ku Klux Klan and its successors from a spiritual perspective, because it's about thought form. I got on my purple Aquarius shirt, the highest color in the visible spectrum of light, in a purple Aquarius Magic trailer happens to be going. Man, do y'all know I came all the way from Denver? I couldn't have missed nothing. I couldn't have went to the bathroom. I couldn't have stopped and got something to eat. That lady couldn't have missed the red light. She couldn't have forgot her key. Everything had to perfectly align. The lady had to check us out when we check out, which means the person in front of us had to be there to check. It's so many different dynamics for this to happen that this is like mathematically almost impossible. Yes? But when you understand the violet flame, there is absolutely an esoteric Christian school that calls this the violet flame of Saint Germain. Now, here I am again with the violet Aquarius shirt on in St. Louis. But outside of St. Louis, at the Cahokia Sun Mound, which is really our Great Pyramid over here in the West, and its foundation is way bigger than the Great Pyramid. It's just made out of earth and not stone. But here we are on spiritual business, and the violet flame matching my violet shirt is here. This is not about me. This is about you understanding the potential that comes from the Creator to you, because you are to do greater things than the Christ. Okay? All right. So then look at the date. It was July 14th. It was July 14th. And they say, hey, banish the Confederate symbols from Stone Mountain. Did you not just see a flyer a couple slides ago that said, we're coming here to deal with them? Flag gone, the day of arrival in town. Come out, Aquarius magic. Right? Leave. A couple days later, all of a sudden, the NAACP gets an idea. Hey, CNN, pick this story up. Going to banish these Confederate symbols after we came and do the spiritual work. I'm not part of the NAACP, homie. If I was, I'd tell you. I ain't got no problem telling you. The schools of thought I rock with. I ain't got no problem telling you my political affiliations. And it ain't Democrat. That's for sure. Right? I got no problem telling you. What I'm telling you is when you approach this from a spiritual angle, the people in the physical position are your pawns on the chessboard. See, I'm playing bishop right now. The spiritual angle. Yes? That's how it works. You interject thoughts into the ether, and somebody will pick it up. Just like you pick up different thoughts all the time. Oh, think about this. I don't know why I was thinking about this. Oh, did you receive a thought from somebody else then? Think about that. Okay? All right. I think that date's going to come back. I think. So 7/14/2015. Let's go to 2013, 2 years prior. That was 10 years ago. Let's take you now to 12 years ago. We back on Atlanta. The first time. Spring equinox, March 21st, 22nd. Then Sunday, April the 7th, we do a blog talk radio show called We Been to the Mountaintop, because we did for the equinox. Yes, you see it. And we go there because this is the reason I aimed at the Ku Klux Klan in 2015. Yes, because the second Klan, and let me look at you when I tell you this, the first Klan got destroyed by Ulysses Grant when he was president. He passed laws called the Enforcement Acts, also known as the Klan Acts. Look it up. This is like 1870. Look it up. Grant did that. My war general did that. So I ain't got no problem telling you what my political affiliations are. Historically, if I was in that timeline, I would have did exactly what Harriet Tubman did. I would have got free, because I'm not going to be your slave. We're going to either Nat Turner this thing. If I feel like you're going to really beat us and we got chicken George ass niggas around us, that's my cuss word. We got these chicken George ass niggas around us, then I'm going to do the Harriet Tubman and get ghosts. Okay? Now, at the time of the Civil War, guess what? There was something called the United States Colored Troops. Black people, we get in this army. Here go some guns. Go back down south and kill your slave master. I would have did that. That's what Harriet Tubman did. So anyway, Grant, who was a part of that, because Grant is the one that makes General Lee surrender. Okay? It will be no slaves south of America. It will be no Confederate States of America where the South has slaves as their own nation. No, it will not happen. So I'm aiming at the Klan because my predecessor Grant, he aimed at the Klan physically. So since they want, the second Klan wants to come to this mountain and consecrate this mountain and engrave this mountain with their symbols of their three heroes, I know it is paramount that we go to this mountain and put in work. Okay? That's why we aim at the Klan. So when we get there, the bottom picture clearly shows you what? It shows you that we were met upon with clouds. The top picture shows you the clouds have dissipated. They're gone. Poof, be gone. clouds have always been synonymous with cloudy thoughts, thought forms. The white cloud, is that symbolic for the white cloudiness of energy of confederacy that you have on that mountain? Shout out to Blue Pillar. Shout out to Rich, because you do have to go to that mountain and do spiritual cleanups by putting your energy there. Absolutely. You have to. It is a must. I always say this. Do y'all ever wonder why Tupac is at Stone Mountain? He ain't from there. Why is the Tupac Memorial on Stone Mountain? You know why Spirit put it there? Because Tupac shot 2 off-duty cops in Georgia, and the case was thrown out. Wait a minute. You mean Confederate Georgia allows a black man to shoot at off-duty cops, whether they bogus or not, and throw the case out? And then you put a memorial there? Yeah, because this is the real physical 33rd degree. Atlanta, Stone Mountain, 33 degrees north of the equator. We rock that. We got that now. That's us. Continue to do the great work. These clouds, we know how to make clouds disappear. A very interesting person that you need to study, and you're going to have to come over to the Quran to get it, is Solomon. In short, Solomon just ain't the king because he got money, Mansa Musa of his time. He just ain't the playboy because he got all these women. An aspect of Solomon that the Christians don't know is he controlled the spirits. Yeah, it's a very magical dude. So when you get into something called Western magic, it's something known as the seal of Suleiman, the seal of Solomon. Solomon is the one that controlled the jinns, the genies in the bottle. He controls the spirits. He was gifted that, as the Quran teaches us. Okay? All right. Moving on. So, April the 7th, you saw that was our Blog Talk Radio Day. In the red, it tells you that, hey, there was an earthquake that took place at the epicenter in Lincolnton, Georgia at 4 o'clock. Oh, I'm sorry, 3:21. 3:21 p.m. Noble, what are you saying? Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention, please. It was Sunday, April the 7th at 11 a.m. Eastern. Me and Minister Jew did the radio show telling you we've been to the mountaintop. It will be 3 hours after the initial going on to the radio, knowing we probably on for an hour or two, but let's just keep it simple. A few hours after the radio show, an earthquake goes off in Lincolnton, Georgia. Now, of course, Lincolnton is not named after Lincoln because it's not Lincoln, Georgia, but anytime your consciousness hear the word Lincoln, you're going to think two things: Abraham Lincoln and the stinking Lincoln Continental car. That's what you're going to think. If you wasn't a Cadillac man, you was a Lincoln man. Now I'm revealing my age. Y'all don't know nothing about that, okay? All right. So then what happens later on that month on April the 30th? That date is going to come back, ladies and gentlemen, as well. So remember, the 14th is going to come back. I'm going to bookmark that. I want you to remember that. It's going to come back at the end. And now April the 30th is going to come back in the end as well. But what happens? Petition wants Stone Mountain Confederate carving removed. Do you see that? So the times that we go, once, 2 times, yes. Don't make me do it a 3rd time. Right? When we go and specifically deal with these energies, all of a sudden, the news keep reporting, we got an idea. A petition surfaced, whether it's from a citizen or the NAACP 2 years later. Those things have to move. I don't physically have to create a petition. Me and my sahabs, my spiritual community, we don't have to physically do this. We don't have to go to city council and deal with all that. We just got to put our foot on the gas, most importantly, and keep it on the gas is the real thing. Keep it on the gas to make somebody else do it through thought alone. You understand this? And this is why I'm going to tell y'all this. And again, I'm not saying this from arrogance. The information that I'm about to share with you is absolutely the top of the pyramid when it comes to classifying information. I'm not saying because I'm better. It ain't got nothing to do with that. What I'm telling you is, listen, I was talking to Minister Jew today, and he was talking about in the Bible somewhere, Paul says to the people of Athens, all y'all do is sit around and talk about what's about to happen next. So all y'all do is just talk about this and talk about that, and always in a responsive thing. I am showing you how to create random external stimuli for the collective benefit through thought and prayer in alignment with God alone today. Oh, it's going to get interesting because I'm going to show you. Okay? All right. So here's my mother of the book. Rest in peace. May the peace and blessings be upon this beautiful light, Mother Tainetta Muhammad, one of the wives of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. She wrote an article unveiling the number 19, in which I'm going to say, spiritually speaking, I don't have the confirmation, our dear brother 19 Keys gets his name from, because in her article is titled Unveiling the Number 19, which is a law at work dealing with the cosmos. This beautiful soul transition on February the 16th of 2015. Keep that in mind, 216, because that's important. Okay? But she wrote a book called The Comer, and why she highlighted come, but The Comer by Night. And you see the Comer by Night, let's just get into it. The Comer by Night deals with Surah 86, and she revealed it in 1986, because in Surah 86, it says, by the sky and the knocker. And what can make you know what is the knocker? It is the piercing star. You see this? You see this? You see this? What can make you know what ṭāriq is? ṭāriq is the knocker. Knocker is like a pulsar, a star that makes a sound. Boy, y'all have no idea what the Quran said you was made out of. I'm telling you. Okay. So now you have the knocker, and I'm here to tell you that the knocker is Sirius. Why do you say Sirius? It said the bright piercing star. Sirius just so happens to be exactly 8.6 light years away from Earth. And it is Surah 86, in which it's telling you about ṭāriq, the bright piercing star. Yes? Okay. Here it is right here. It's 8.6 light years away. So you know that I'm not telling no story. Yes? You are cosmic people. Now, I'm going to rewind this. So we're going to have a great conversation today. So bear with me. Go connect the throne to Sirius. This was February the 16th, in which Mother Tainetta made her passing, but it was 10 years later. Yes? And what are we saying here? We're saying that the Arabic word sar, from right to left at the top, with the 3 dots on top of it, you go right to left, is sar, which is Sirius, equals a numerical value of 570. And the word throne is known as the arsh, and it's the exact same 3 letters, but they're boxed, and it equals 570, which I find ironic. That's the year that the prophet, peace be upon him, was also born. So Sirius and the throne had the exact same 3 letters boxed, but same value. So at the time he was in my phone as Blackfink, Brother Youssef, I said, bro, are you up? This is 1:35 in the morning. He said, man, I was out. He hit me back at 8:43. Happy birthday, man. Uh-oh. I said, bro, alhamdulillah, nigga, Allah showed me where the throne is. Go look up the 3-letter root for throne. Yes? We blow this up. I said, now Kursi, because you hear a verse known as the Ayatul Kursi. The Kursi, they say, is known as the throne verse, but Kursi also means footstool. It's not the arsh. So they say that's a little throne. That's the footstool. The arsh is way bigger than the Kursi. Yes? But now Kursi, they always say is the footstool, but 2 times it appears as throne. Arsh is said to be the highest of the 2. 570, which we know is Arsh, and 280, which is Kursi, are their numbers. Now, subtract the 2, you get 290. 290 is the difference, which is the numerical value of the word Rasul, which means messenger. So he said, man, you snapping out. This is crazy. I said, bro, dead on. When I text you, I was like, happy birthday, nigga. I just come off this serious connection again from Friday, because the previous Friday, that 2 Friday, I was Sunday morning this time, but Friday, a couple days ago, I was dealing with Sirius. So I said, I just come off from this serious connection again from Friday, and that voice told me to compare Sirius to the throne. And lo and behold, it's the same effing letters. Man, I almost cried. So I had to go listen to Surah 48, which, since this was a birthday gift to me, because I turned 48, and that surah is entitled Victory. Yes? Surah 48 is called Victory. Okay? All right. So then I got the instruction to go play the lottery to show you the truth so you would know it's the truth. So you see it's printed on February the 16th. But I played it at 237. I played 570, 280, 290. Yes. There go the Rasul. There go the difference. There go the Kursi, 216 and 208. E was retarded because I already played 280. I didn't have to play 208 box. 280 box is the same, silly. Where do I always put in E? I always put in Minister Jew's birthday on E. Always. Not paying attention. Yes. And I'm just going to tell, I don't have no reason to lie to you, because I got the receipts to show you the proof. And this is why I play with the numbers, and I do it through lottery, because the chances are slim. And when it comes, it is to ultimately show you how God works. Wallahi, I don't got no reason to lie to you. All right. All right. I ain't gonna say what I want to say. Don't even say it. No, don't even say that. All right. So listen. The revelation come to me. Go look at Sirius and the throne. I go look it up. They're the same words. Blown. Hit Yusef up. Yo, nigga, this is blowing my mind. What? What told me to do that? And then it's a direct match. Then the voice said, go play the number in the morning, 570. Right? That morning, it was snowing outside. And I go to the marathon. But I didn't want to go to the marathon and get out the truck because I was being a little B. I was being a little B. And I'm like, it's cold. I'm going to go later. I meant to go back before noon so I can get the morning draw. Lo and behold, I didn't make it. So now what you see is it came out in the morning. Oh, here it is. Boom. It comes out in the midday, which I missed, 216, as 0570. So 057, which is 570 box. Why did it come out box? Because the revelation was the throne Sar in the throne Arsh in Sirius Sar. So those letters are box, but the number's going to come box, Noble, so you can go show the people. But I still got the ticket and showed you that I played. Yes? It wasn't about winning a little bit of money anyway. Would have been nice, right? But it wasn't about that. It was all about playing for the revelation to show you that this is the truth today. Today, right now. 570, the year that the prophet is born. We're going to stay in that vein. We're going to bring you this revelation to uphold this truth. We got you. Yes? Okay. And then the midday number, the evening number is what? Minister Jew's birthday backwards. Am I lying? Am I lying? His birthday come on my birthday. Yes? But when he goes to Atlanta to go pick up his car, what room do they put him in? They put him in room 216, my day. That's how it works. You understand that? So that's a receipt physically, a receipt to show you that when we come to you, it is coming to you from a very, very direct source of God. Now they say, bro, you be getting religious. Yeah, I do. Because I love this. That's why me and Jew talk so much. It's because we love this. It's what we do. Okay? Let's move on. Let's move on. So the Quran says, it is Allah who created the seven heavens and of the earth, the like of them. His command descends among them, so you may know that Allah is over all things competent, and that Allah encompasses, which means circle or is in all things knowledge. I think we read this verse entirely too fast. First of all, it says Allah's command flows between the seven heavens and planets. That's what it says. That's what it says. So now we got to learn, whoa. Planets, heavens. Heaven 1's different from heaven 3. Keep saying that. Mars is different from Venus. What you saying? What are you saying? And then you say you encompass all things in knowledge. So now are you saying that the heavens and the planets are actually conscious programs? Are you saying that, Allah? Is that in the Quran? Are you alluding to the fact that the planets and the heavens are a conscious program that we must come into the knowledge of? What do it say? So you may know that Allah is over all things. Whoa. So here's the thing, Muslim. If you don't study the seven heavens and the planets in which the commands of Allah, the God you say you believe in, come from, if you don't study these things, then how do you know that Allah is competent and he encompasses this thing? You wouldn't know that. And I will call that shirk for not knowing what's in the Quran for you to know. That's the shirk, not astrology, ma'am, sir. Moving on, he says, and he completed them as seven heavens within 2 days and inspired it in each heaven its command. Whoa, and we adorned the nearest heaven with lamps, which is stars, and as what? Protection. That is the determination of the exalted in might, the knowing. Wait a minute. Hold on. This is why I say we can't be going too fast. The stars is protection. Got it. Never heard that before, but now we got it. Makes sense what this YouTube title is. The stars is protection. This YouTube title shows you that this is where it is in the Quran. Please make a note that it was 65:12, verse 12, that Allah reveals his command flows through the heaven. Please make a note now, it's verse 12 again that he's saying, hey, these heavens and these planets, but these heavens, we inspired and gave them their command. Oh, so then my previous question stands answered. My question was, are you saying, God, are you telling us that the heavens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the planets, these all have different intelligences in which you communicate through? There are conscious programs. You're now saying yes, because we inspired each heaven with their command. So if you can't tell me what the moon represents, you can't tell me what Venus represents, you can't tell me, and that's just dealing with the planets, you are not qualified. All the way. I'm going to be easy today because the Quran makes it clear. Maybe I have this verse in here. Maybe I got it in here. Oh, I do have it in here. I'll get to it. Let's move on. So we have an interstellar visitor, comet 3I Atlas. This ain't even all that deep. It really ain't. But we'll get into some things. Let's read. 3I Atlas is recognized as an interstellar object because of its extremely hyperbolic path and very high speed relative to the solar system. 3I Atlas did not pass close enough to any of the solar system's planet to have gained its speed. So it could not have originated from the solar system. Tracing the path of 3I Atlas in the sky shows that the comet originated from interstellar space in the direction of constellation, here it is, Sagittarius, near the Milky Way's galactic center. That's all we need to know. You don't need to know nothing else about 3I Atlas. I'm going to show you, I'll give you a little bit more. But we got its origin. They said its origin comes from Sagittarius in the Milky Way galaxy, the center of the Milky Way, the galactic center. Let's read it one more time. It comes from the direction of, shows that the comet originated from interstellar space in the direction of the constellation Sagittarius near the Milky Way's galactic center. Sagittarius, galactic center. Sagittarius, galactic center. Keep that in mind. So now, what is the right angle ascension of 3I Atlas? See, you have to learn how to find things in space. So this is how you find it. Yes? The right angle ascension of 3I Atlas is 13:27:50, 13 hours, which is 1 p.m., 27 minutes, 50 seconds. You see this? Bookmark 13:27 as well. It's going to come back. Y'all ready? Let's find it in space, Noble. Let's blow this up. You see where it says Venus by that green line? And you see that cursor, that circle with a target thingy across in it? You see my coordinate system is 13:27:50 minus 650 in declination. And it takes us right there, right by the Virgin. Right now is where it's at, right in alignment with Spica and Venus in our current reality today. Yes? Okay. So this is what I know about this region of space, ladies and gents. The Virgo supercluster, which by the way has 47,000 galaxies, and the local group it contains, which is us, is being pulled towards the Shapley supercluster. Are you hearing this? I am telling you that the Virgo supercluster of 47,000 galaxies, Andromeda, all these galaxies is in there. All of us are being pulled to a source identified as Shapley supercluster. Yes? All right. Moving on. What is the Shapley supercluster's right ascension angles, ladies and gentlemen? 13 hours and 25 minutes. Wait a minute. What is the right ascension angle of 3I Atlas? 13:27. So 2 arc minutes. So therefore, as of right now, Atlas, 3I Atlas, is actually in perfect alignment to what? Source. Oh, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. This gravitational mass that's pulling us. Yes? Okay. So the Quran says, dude, then did you think that we created you uselessly? In that to us you will not be returned? Do you possibly think we made you for nothing? Question. See, the Quran be talking smack, man. Smack. All right. So weirdly into us, you don't return. Well, snap. Hold on. If 47,000 and that's just our Virgo supercluster. Everything is moving towards this particular source. So then the logical question is, well, do God have a knowledge of this? And if he does, since he's the author and creator of all things, then is he over there in that particular source for whatever reason? Because that's where we're going. We're going somewhere. You ever thought about that? Hey, we're moving around the sun is moving around the galaxy is about to merge with Andromeda in 5 billion years, and then all of this is moving towards one. Where the heck are we going? We're going somewhere because we're moving. So when the Quran says to us, you return, and we're going to a direction, then don't you think we need to understand the coordinates of God? I've done the lecture here on YouTube called God's Names Are Celestial Coordinates. Phenomenal. I give you the top 3. We just saw that Sirius, which is the throne, is 8.6 light years away from the earth. But the word Elohim, no, not you, baby. All right. So Sirius is 8.6 light years away from the earth. Yes. But the word Elohim equals 86 in Hebrew. Yes. Yahweh is 26. Yahweh and Jehovah, same thing, same names, same letters, equals 26. The Milky Way galaxy, the center of it, is 26,000 light years away. And it just so magically happens that on December the 18th, when the sun is in front of the galactic center, and we say December 18th, that's Sagittarius season because it's about to be Cap season, it just so happens to be the sun is 26 degrees Sagittarius. Are you hearing me? 26 is the numerical value of Yahweh Jehovah. The galactic center known as the Milky Way is 26,000 light years away. And on December the 18th, when the sun is precisely in perfect alignment with the galactic center, the sun is 26 degrees Sagittarius. The origin point of what? 3i Atlas. That's what it says. It's the origin point. Come on, man. We're going to trace God today. Get on your tracing board. Come on. We're going to trace God today. Okay? Allah equals 66. And Allah, the distance of the spheroidal galaxy, 66,000 light years. Okay? The spheroidal galaxy is known as the Sagittarius spheroidal galaxy. It's a very important thing because it loops over our galaxy, the Milky Way, and these two galaxies kept on crashing, and it gave birth to our sun, which ultimately gave birth to our planets, which ultimately gave birth to who? You and I. This is revealed in Surah 70, verse 4, where it talks about the angels in the spirit ascend to him in the measure of 50,000 years, because that spheroidal galaxy loop over our Milky Way galaxy, which I've shown plenty of times on YouTube, yes, is exactly 50,000 years. But the distance from Earth to it is approximately very close to 66,000 years, which is what? The numerical value of Allah. Check out this conversation that I had right here. God's names are celestial coordinates. And I'm showing you the God's different names, because God got different names in the Bible. Oh, yeah, got different names. And I'll run through them and show you. Okay. Hold on. You can't hear me? Check, 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 check. I see my mic moving. Let me know. Give me a mic check because Janine says she can't hear me. So let me know. Give me a quick little time out. Can y'all hear me? Well, if y'all can't hear me, I wouldn't know what to do. Okay, y'all can hear me. I don't know, Janine. Refresh your page. All right, refresh. All right. Okay, cool. Perfect. All right. Okay. So let's move on. So now I got to upload the Kavod Elohim file. Dun, dun, dun. Here comes the Kavod Elohim. All right. If you haven't already, because this is part 2, click the like button, please. Okay. Click the like button for me. We're going to get in part 2. All right. Now, let's go to the Bible. The Bible said, I will show wonders in the sky above and signs on the earth beneath, blood and fire and billows of smoke. So there's signs in the sky. Yes. The Holy Quran said, hey, and he rendered the sun and moon to serve as calculation devices. Whoa. Let me tell you something. This is deeper than trying to measure a month. And this is deeper than talking about the harvest for food and seasons. It's deeper than that. The sun and moon are used for calculation devices. Oh, okay. We ain't got to get into Sufi healing. We get into this though. We're going to read the bottom translation. Then the angel of God who was going before the host of Israel moved and went behind them. And the pillar of cloud moved from before them and stood behind them, 20 coming between the host of Egypt and the host of Israel. And there was the cloud and the darkness, and it lit up the night without one coming near the other all night. Then I ask a question. Is this the cloud, the pillar of cloud that lit up the night? Because what a coincidence, this is known as the Milky Way rift. And the center of it is where Three-Eye Atlas is said to originate from. Is this the cloud that lit up the night? It's just a question. Now, I know in the Inca, when you go into South America, they have this pillar of cloud. Remember the old school show Zorro with the mask? Right? We used to watch that in the 80s. But they have a whole cosmology inside of this Milky Way rift. Yes? See Sagittarius, the horseman? Interesting. Yes? Then when you come over to Egypt, you have the goddess Nut. Yes? So we in Africa, we in South America, this is a known phenomenon understanding the Milky Way. Listen, man, codified religion has absolutely disconnected us from understanding the cosmos and our connection to it. Codified religion did that. But the culture's been knew it before your religion. And see, and this is exactly why brothers like my brother Sarah Suit and Seti would tell you, I don't give a damn about them Abraham religions. You go to Kemet, Nubia, you go there, you go back to the source. It's exactly why. Exactly why. Okay. But you have to know how to look at these books because it's really right there in front of your face. It's giving you the same information. It's giving you the same thing. All right. So let's read about the galactic center because they said what? They said Three-Eye Atlas comes from this place. The galactic center is a base center or barycenter of the Milky Way and a corresponding point on the rotational axis of the galaxy. Its central massive object is a supermassive black hole of about 4 million solar masses, which is called Sagittarius. And it is a what? Compact radio source. If you keep on reading, go down to the right. Do it not say 26,000 light years away from the earth? So I didn't lie to you when I told you it was 26,000 light years away. It's right there. So now you see that Sagittarius A, the Milky Way galaxy, in which 3i Atlas comes from, is actually a radio source. Okay? All right. So, Mr. Anpu, are you implying God is a radio? I did this on Brother Rich show. I did it on our YouTube. We did a show called God is a Radio. Absolutely. Shout out to Radio Rahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Radio Rahim. Yes. Are you implying God is a radio? Yes. We got radio satellites to be able to pick up communication, and they study the Milky Way Center. This is what science is doing. Yes. Radio telescopes. Yes. Okay. You want to see a definition for radio, wireless radio, man? Look in the green. It says L. Look to the right. It says L. God. God is a radio, point proven. From the Hebrew perspective. Oh, you want to go to Arabic? Want to go to Arabic? La ilaha illallah. La. Yes. La ilaha illallah. Yes. Okay. What is la? La at the top. Wireless, radio, broadcasting, radio, message. The bottom. Unconscious mind. Uh-oh. So Hebrew L-A-L is radio in God. La, when you reverse it, L-A in Arabic, is still radio message in the unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind is a brain wave. Your mind, period, is nothing more than brain wave. Yes. The radio message. Yes. Come on. We'll get there. So God's a radio. So in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, because when you understand the wave starts off as what? Radio waves. And then when it increases, it turns into radar, microwaves, infrared. Then you get into like the visible spectrum of light as well. Yes. And then you can go ultraviolet, and then you can't see no more, because now you're about to go into the gamma spectrum or ultraviolet. Yes. So you got the visible spectrum of light. So in the beginning was the Word, is giving you science. In the beginning was the Word, is giving you science on the wave, the radio wave. Okay. All right. That changes form, which then changes how it shows up and interacts with reality. Okay. All right. So the Quran says, O company of jinn and mankind, if you're able to pass by beyond the regions of the heavens and earth, then you will not pass. Only by permission will you pass. How do you dial in to get connection? So when my teacher, Bobby Hemmett, said, I got on the phone with the spirit world, I said, okay, tell me no more. Didn't show me how to do it. Maybe I got ADD and I didn't catch the video on where he said it. But I was always amazed that nobody in the crowd, from what I saw, didn't raise their hand and say, stop, time out. Give us an example right now and just do it. What you do so I can go home and do that. But I put it together, and that's all I need. What you should be looking for is a teacher who can say something in the way in which you are inspired to think, in which you can then go put something into practicality and see if it works. Use your God-given mind, because that is the God within you. Okay? All right. So let's bring them up to speed, Noble. Let's go to 2024, because we have to talk about, listen, we have to talk about this radio wave. This radio wave coming from the galactic center is said to be the source of 3i Atlas. I'm going to take you to 2024 and some work in 2025 dealing with this precise location of the radio wave. and I'll show you the call that was made in which Three-Eye Atlas responds. Yes? Because we got on the phone with the spirit world. Y'all ready? Okay. All right. Shout out to my 66 people in here. That's a numerical value of Allah. Let's go. Allah's with us. So let me back up. Blow this up. The date is July the 4th in the Patreon. It is 2024. And I make a post called Galactic Activation on July the 18th. We're going to do it at 11:11 p.m. See, just don't be, oh, 11:11. I keep seeing 11. You better do something on 11:11, right? So the Quran says this: verily I call to witness the planets that recede. That's in 81:15. 81:15 says this: verily I call to witness the planets that recede. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a moment? Let's just have a moment. What? Why are you bearing witness to planets that recede, go back? Some say go straight and run and hide, some translations. You bear witness to planets? Oh, because we learned earlier that each heaven has its command. So why will you not bear witness to that? Because the commands, we also learn what flows through the heavens and the planets. So now here's the Quran saying, it don't say I bear witness to Allah. It say I bear witness to the planets. Because that verse that we saw said what? 65:12. So we can bear witness that Allah encompass all things in knowledge. Oh. And this is why it's a group of people in the Quran known as the Sabians, where the Quran will say the Jews, the Christians, and the Sabians are people of the book. They good people with me. And the Sabians are the people who are known to be master stargazers. They don't believe in the stars as God. They believe as that's how God communicates, exactly what the Quran says in 65:12. Okay? So bear witness to the planets that's receding, because Allah encompasses all things in knowledge. Moving on. So July 18th, we're going to get busy. Okay? So mark your calendars. I post this July 4th, portal day. Yes? Very important day. So shortly before 11:11, I go outside, and wallahi, what am I met with? A clear sky by a pillar of cloud. Do you understand what I'm showing you? I started off with the telepathic, was really not pathic, but it's more of a clear audience is what it is. I get a message that comes in. I always point right here because it comes in right there. And it says, go look up this pillar of cloud thing. Then you say, hey, I think it's talking about the Milky Way galaxy. You go look into the Milky Way galaxy. You happen to find this location. It helps us line up with the numerical value of the God that's talking about it. And then you find out it's a radio source. I said, okay. The Quran teaches us that we are to use the sun and moon as calculation devices. So we'll wait till the moon get there, and then we'll dial in. Oh, you program in space? Yes, sir. Program in space. Okay. All right. And so then, right before it's time for us to do our thing, I'm going to go outside and open up the way and make prayer. It is a clear sky in all of the sky, besides right in front of the moon, as you can see. And it looks like a pillar of smoke, exactly what we're out here to do when the revelation was revealed. I got this timestamp. This is why I do this. It is only to show you that the true and living God, the stuff that we read from old, you may be like, I don't know, was Muhammad really real? Was Jesus really real? I don't know. Listen, you in it today. And salute to my galactic activators and the ambassadors of light who participate in these things, because you're creating prophecy in real time. Okay? All right. Moving on. To show you what that date looks like in an astronomy program, it is 7/18/2024. The moon is in the middle of the pillar of smoke at the galactic center, the home of 3i Atlas. This is 2024. You don't get 3i Atlas into a year from now. But we're already here, priesthood. You wonder why me and Jew go by the priesthood? You're already here, priesthood. Okay? All right. So on that day, look what makes the news in scientific news. Another immediate mass black hole is discovered at the center of the galaxy. Date July 18th, 2024. While researching a cluster of stars in the immediate vicinity of supermassive black hole Sagittarius A at the center of our galaxy, home of who? 3i Atlas, an international team of researchers led by PhD Dr. Florin, whatever, has found signs of another immediate mass black hole. What does the Quran teach us? Verily, in the heavens, in the earth are signs for the believers. Now, you got to ask yourself a question, you that's looking at this. Are you a believer of this information that I'm showing you? And it's okay if you're not. It's all right. I'm not here to judge. I can't say nothing. I'm just saying the scripture says, verily, in the heavens, in the earth are signs for the believers. Now, you may say, well, Noble, you did this galactic activation at 11:11, and this already came out beforehand, but then I'll say objection, because I'm already on the record posting it in Patreon July the 4th, giving you a heads up to prepare yourself. Start fasting. Start eating lighter. Start getting ready to shift your body to up the internal vibration. Yes? So I'm already on the record before the event. And if you see my work, only thing I have to do is say I'm going and it's going to be. Allah says to it be and it becomes. Oftentimes, I just have to say we're going to do it and it happens before we do it. That's the truth. Okay? So that happens. So we're going to move on. And July 29th gets here. We do a Jupiter red eye activation. And I post this a whole month prior to actually doing it. Yes? All right. So July 29th, you see the post. 8:27, we're going to get down on Jupiter. Yes? So when you look at this picture on 8:27, Jupiter appears to be at the horns of Taurus. Please note to the left is Gemini. That's going to come up. That's important. And you see that Osiris is right there. And in between this green bands of light is green bands is the light of the Milky Way galaxy. It's just much dimmer on this side. But when you see Sirius, there's a band of light that's in there, because the Milky Way galaxy spans from the other side, Scorpio Sagittarius, which what is opposite Scorpio Sagittarius? Taurus Gemini. So it spans through this region of space as well. Okay? So we're here. So the very next day, astronomers discover new odd radio circle near the center of our galaxy. Mysterious ring invisible at all wavelengths except radio could be a trace of a dramatically unstable star shedding its skin. This is the very next day, ladies and gentlemen. You see, I posted this July 29th, telling you we're going to go in this region of space. Yes? Yes? Excuse me. Let's keep reading about it. The ring itself is only seen at radio wave lengths. Yes? Okay? You see this. The new ORC, however, is just 6 degrees above the plane of our galaxy, slap bang in the Milky Way as presented on the sky. Furthermore, it appears from our point of view to be quite close to the galactic center. Hey, isn't that not the same place that a year later we're going to find out 3 Atlas came from? However, that could just be a coincidence. It could be much closer or much further away than the center of our galaxy, which is 26,000 light years away. Again, telling you 26 is the number of Yahweh. Yes. So let's move up to October 10th, 2024. Jupiter's great red spot is being squeezed. Oh. But not too long ago, there was somebody doing some work on Jupiter. Yes? Okay. Interesting. Where's the moon on 1010 when they say this? Oh, it's right there at Sagittarius. It's actually in perfect alignment with the Sagittarius sporoidal galaxy, which means the day before it was just in the middle of the Milky Way. Guaranteed. Because the moon moves 13 degrees a day on average. So as the moon goes through this region of space, this gets revealed. Why? Because you are getting on the radio with God. So now let's try it with peace. On 9/11 at 9/11, we're going to do a peace moon activation. You see the peace sign on the moon. You see a galactic center in the backdrop. What happened 2 days later on the 13th? Russia, always open to Ukraine peace talks, Putin tells China. You read at the bottom. At that time, it was a 31-month-old war in Ukraine. You may say that's luck, but I have plenty of case study. I am telling you, our thoughts are like, it's just waves. You got radio waves coming in here, Wi-Fi waves coming in here. You got TV waves coming. You got all kind of waves. We're always surrounded by waves of information. You ever thought about somebody and they called you? Come on, man. Got to grow up. It happens. So we absolutely can send a collective wave to political leaders. Listen, if it's not true, then why are you praying then? That's just the mechanics of prayer. But why are you praying? Because you believe that your thought can be answered and physical reality can be conformed to what it is that you desire in your head. You believe that because it's true. So let's look at the schedule. We're going to highlight 9/22, 7:22 in the morning is the fall equinox 2024. This just last year. Okay. We're going to be outside 7:22 in the morning. Yes. Look what happened. Equinox increases chance of geomagnetic storm from solar eruption this week. The sunspot AR 3835 erupted on Sunday, September the 22nd during Earth's equinox, when a glancing blow can cause a geomagnetic storm. Yes. So it happened on Sunday, September the 22nd. I dropped my schedule the last day of the month. Like today, I have to drop the schedule for November coming up. I know timing. I know where we at. The equinox is in September, which Ramadan starts around at this time. So 7:22 a.m., that's sunrise. So we're going to focus on the sun energy. Yes. And when you do that, science says, hey, there was a sunspot that erupted on the equinox. I know it was. So on 9/25, a couple days later, we're going to do Sirius dog star activation. And note, I put highlight 6:30 a.m. Eastern time because something's going to happen. So this was posted 2 days before 9/25. Okay. And again, if I go back to the schedule, Oh, that was a pop-up because I do see that's one thing why you got to be with me in the Patreon. That wasn't even on the schedule. I just popped it up when Spirit gave it to me. All right. So 6:30 a.m. and this is what happened. 4 minutes after our time, the Shiba prototype dog mean has increased 50 times in one day, and Ethereum is experiencing 100 dogs barking. Now, you have to understand symbolism. Ethereum is ether. That's what your solar ether. Yes, your ether. Ethereum is ether. We're talking about the connecting point of reality here. We're talking about a star in Surah 53, verse 49. Allah is the Lord of Sirius. We're talking Sirius Dogon, West Africa. We're talking Sirius Egyptian, the goddess Isis, better known as Sebdek, earlier known as Sebdek. We tap in to Sirius. When you're dealing with the dog star, then simply imagine dogs barking. We thought possibly, I ain't think nothing, I'll just watch it come back. But I kind of had an idea and thought it would come back into the physical plane, but it came back through the blockchain of the technosphere of Ethereum, and it rallied there and manifested itself there. Okay. And I came up on Shiba years ago. I should have had it. All right. But anyway, we see it here. If anybody who's practicing, they'll tell you in the chat that, yeah, I was a part of this. And the only thing we did was just visualize dog barking. And this came back exactly to what we said. But I'm already on the record book showing you how it worked with that star doing that particular practice. In fact, here it is again. We can go back on my other channel on YouTube, Hip Hop Astrology TV. 5 years ago, March 3rd, 2020, let's call home Sirius activation. You see a wolf howling at the moon. Yes. So you know what happened? What happened on the 13th? That's going to become important. Number 13. What happened April 13th, 2020? People across the globe are howling at the moon. But yet a month prior, here it is, the proof. A month prior, we didn't already gave the instruction to go ahead and program this area of space by howling at the moon. And now people all over the entire globe were howling at the moon like at 8 p.m. local time. Ladies and gentlemen, you are programmers of the Matrix. It is time to stop subscribing to predictive programming. And it's time for you to copy and paste their program and become the predictive programmers yourself. That's what separates the cream from the crop. Okay. Okay. See, one is defensive and one is offensive. Now, you can't serve two masters at the same time. You can't. So you better understand contraction and expansion and which state is which. Moving on. So let me take you back to the 13th. Since y'all saw it, they was howling at the moon on the 13th. I'll tell you why the 13th. And I'm going to show you how it's connected to Atlas. Because now when I go back to Friday, December 31st, 2010, which is 15 years ago. Whoa. 15 years ago on my blog talk. What do it say? Happy New Year solar eclipse in science of the number 13. What does the body description basically say? There's a new moon taking place at 13 degrees Capricorn, and it is the first of 4 moons that will take place at 13 degrees. Yes, you saw people howling at the moon. The story come out on the 13th. I'm going to tell you why. Because years prior, okay, and it already programmed this number. All right. Now, galactic activation frequency 26 is posted October the 8th, 2024 in Patreon, and you're given the instructions. Why are you doing frequency 26? Because I showed you that the galactic center of the Milky Way, the home of 3i Atlas, is 26 degrees. So we're going to do frequency 26 because 26 is the numerical value of Yahweh, Jehovah. Okay? All right. So now what happens on October the 11th? Giant magnetic halo discovered wrapped around the Milky Way. Yes? You see it? Are we not on the record? October the 8th, posted in the Patreon. A couple days later, October the 11th, all of a sudden, there is a magnetic halo discovered around the Milky Way. Is that you? You see how God responds? See how powerful your thoughts are? Moving on, I'll show you one for fun. Abraham Lincoln turned 216. Remember, I told you Mother Tanetta passed on 216. Yes? It's all connected. Watch this. Abraham Lincoln's turned 216. Okay? So, salute to Abe, man. Abe is the GOAT, man. I love that dude. February the 12th this year, we did a full moon galactic activation. Because the moon, full moon, if it's Aquarius, the full moon is in Leo. So the only thing you have to do is see lions roaring at the moon with Abraham Lincoln overlooking the experience. And then I put the Egyptian goddess in there. See, listen, man, you ain't gonna be able to get me. You ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna do it. I'm the one that's gonna bring you the Egyptian science. I'm gonna bring you the Hebrew science, and I'm gonna bring you the Arabic science. And I'll go to China and bring you the Taoist science. And I got an Aura chakra machine to bring you Indian science. I'm the one that's gonna bring you the science of all of them and show you that there is only one God. Period. Each school of thought got its limitations because if it didn't, everybody would be of the same school, and we're not. Okay, but at the core, everybody got the truth. They got an aspect of the truth. See, look at the rainbow spectrum. There's a lot of beauty and wisdom inside of that. If the light frequency, the wave frequency itself says, hey, I'm red when I'm right here. I'm yellow when I'm right here. I'm orange, I'm green, I'm blue, I'm violet. But it's all one. It's all one that's cleverly hidden inside of white light. But when you crack white light open with a spectrum, through the spectrum of light or through a prism, you see inside of it and you start to see what? You see colors, you see variation. That's the one and true God. You sitting up here banging on red and blue because you cripping blood. Now understanding red and blue are primary colors for existence of reality. Those are creator colors, red, blue, and yellow. Now, when it comes to technology in which you see red, blue, and green, based off the cones in your eyes and the technology. Yes, you set tripping on red and blue. You set tripping through Christianity and Islam, not knowing that this is the same source. Okay? All right. So I'm the one that's going to bring it all to you. So we see Abraham Lincoln overlooking these lions. Yes, watch this. This was funny as a mug. First of all, what is 216? 216 also has a definition that means what? Ari, the lion. Oh, so 216 is lion. So it's 216 in our calendar reality. And the full moon just happens to be in Leo, but 216 actually means Leo. Holla at me. So let's read this report that came out 2 days later on February the 14th. Independence was not able to break out through their patch on Thursday as the team picked up their 10th straight loss. They were beaten by the Lincoln Lions 55-20. Unfortunately, that's the second time they've come up short against the Lions this season, as they also lost their prior matchup 61-18 back in January. Girls basketball team, they're getting spanked. Independence defeat dropped their record down to what? 2-16. While Lincoln Lions went up 12-6. Yes, 12-6 is box 216, but I want to pay attention to their record went down 216. Lincoln Lions record, well, Independence defeat went down 216. Lincoln Lions 216. 216 is Leo. February 16th was Abraham Lincoln's birthday when the full moon was in Leo. Stop playing. You see the beauty of this? You see this? Stop playing, man. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, man. That's all you can say. Is all praises due to Allah when I see stuff like this, man. See, stuff like that. I don't care nothing about no racism. It's just show me who. I can deal with it. But I don't want to hear nothing that's of a lower frequency, man. Because the force that's on our side is way, way bigger and stronger than that. Okay? And I ain't gonna even say that. It's gonna get too metaphysical. All right. So anyway, this show you what the Lincoln Lions look like and whatever. All right, so let's come here. Sagittarius Sporoidal Galaxy 223.25. All right, 223.25. That's that Sporoidal Galaxy looping over our galaxy. All right, moon is there. Show you how to use this moon. What happens? Let me blow this up on my side. What happens on February the 25th? You saw me say we had a flyer for the 23rd. What happened 2 days later? Something unexpected is spewing stars into the Milky Way. How many times must we do this, ladies and gentlemen? 2 days after the fact. Let's keep going. Spring equinox, galactic center. Now we in 2025. Well, look where the moon will be on this gateway day. Tune in at 8 p.m. Now, this is spring equinox 2025. The moon is happened to be in front of the galactic center. So you know what happened a few days later, 6 days later? Giant space tornadoes raging in the Milky Way's turbulent heart. Huh, interesting. Heart, golden heart, gold light that you see. Come on. It happens again when you're in that location. Yes? So I did a video called The Real Khalifa in Islam, posted February 28th of 2025. I'm going to go back a little bit. And I got to get into this because we got to understand the magnitude of this stuff, right? So we go back to this thing in Las Vegas. If you're new to it, you know, hey, I'm telling you that Vegas came up on the radar, all right? And Vegas is known as Sin City, okay? And I know Vegas sits 36 degrees north latitude. I'm a little well versed with geography, so I know something happens at 36 degrees latitude. But I also knew this. I knew that chapter 36 is called Yasin. Look to the right in that black box. What do it say? Yasin, which are letters. But Vegas is called Sin City. And it sits 36 degrees north latitude, but the Quran has a chapter 36 is called Yasin. Yes? Okay. Now, 36 degrees north latitude also encompass this area known as the New Madrid Fault Line, which you see Memphis, Tennessee is one of the biggest cities that we know is on this particular grid, along with St. Louis as well. Okay. All right. So when I get here, yes, the instruction was given to me. When I read, I'm looking at Yasin, I'm looking at Sin City, I'm looking at 36 degrees north latitude, and this is what I was told. Should I tell what I was told? The earthquake will happen on 6/26 and show the people this is how you remove demons. So at the very bottom, which you can't see, which I'll show you, but it says, on that day you shall know that this is a sign from your Lord. I'll show you what it says. And you can clearly see an earthquake rendition and demons inside of it. So it's called 626 Demon Remover Prelude at that time because it's February and we got 4 months to go. Yes? Have patience. Sabor. Okay? Okay. So, in fact, I'm going to play a video just so you know that, I ain't lying, right? And I'm going to show you, where is it at? I'll show you what was said in regards to this on the spring equinox, March 21st, 22nd. No, summer solstice, June 20, the day before. It was June 20th, 21st, right? A couple days before this demon prelude, when me and Minister Jew was on YouTube.
This is what we do, man. This is what we do now, like for real, for real.
Yeah. We just getting started. And when the earthquake, you shall know what made it. Right?
All right.
Peace.
All right, y'all.
Okay. So real simple instruction. Say, hey, and when the earthquake, you would know. So it was already, you see it, it was already forecasted. It was already signed, sealed, and delivered back in February. You just have to wait to June get here. Now it's June 21st on the summer solstice, and I'm telling you, hey, you gonna know what made it. You would know. All right. You saw it for yourself. So now we come back here and we dealing with this particular June 6th. We deal with this subject matter right here. Muslim calendar is all messed up. Yes. But inside of that particular lecture, here's the flyer, and the flyer has been updated. And this is YouTube. Pay attention. When you go to YouTube and look at this video, you can stop it and you will see why is NMFL under the man. And I never explained it, but I just wanted to put it on the record because I know what the creator told me to do. It stands for New Madrid Fault Line. That's what it stands for. And it's coming. Okay. So as we now get into the month of June, it's not quite June 26th yet. It's June the 10th. I posted in the Patreon Operation St. Memphis Demon Shake because I know on 626 is a demon remover that you gonna know it's a sign from your God. We're gonna deal with Memphis and St. Louis, hence Operation St. Memphis. You see the arc over there is Memphis. Then you see the Bass Pyramid, that pro shop that's in Memphis. Okay, so you see these two, and this is posted June the 10th with instructions to go in on the 11th. So just reading the highlight in the middle, the box that's squared, attaches a screenshot of St. Louis, which sits directly on top of Memphis. Now I can get into and say, listen, historically, especially Memphis, these are both Egypt and the West. Spiritually, it's time to cleanse what is ours. Yes, I'm basically saying, hey, Memphis is named after Menefer in ancient Egypt. Some say this is ancient Egypt. St. Louis, this is our energy. It's these young dudes off the chain. They talking about demon time. So it's time to shake the demons out. You seen Young Dolph, rest in peace. You see the stuff that go on, they on demon time. Okay. All right. So then this is what it looks like for the visual. This was the instruction that was given. Shake the demons out this place with your mind and petition the Most High to get rid of these demonic forces. Yes, that's given. This is in the Patreon. So then a few days later, look what happened. June 13th, didn't I say the number 13? Didn't I show you 15 years ago we was working with 13? Yes. See how it all comes full circle? I said, alhamdulillah, look what you warriors created. St. Louis State Police has now taken over St. Louis City Police. Okay? So you got to go click on that. I told him. I said, but wait for 626 roundabout to come. Inshallah, heavenly messenger of God. Now, I'm not doing this out of ego. I'm going to prove it. God tell me what to do, I do it. See, my son's name is Ishmael, which means to hear God. So this is a bloodline in the sperm that deals with hearing God. God is a radio. Prove that. Oh, I didn't know being born, or maybe I did. I just don't remember. I don't know. I know what I know now. Yes. Okay. So we sign off heavenly messenger of God. Astaghfirullah. I'll prove it. Then a few days after that, June 25th, which is just one day before 626, Attorney General files lawsuit to remove the St. Louis sheriff. And then inside that story, I just want to highlight quantum. because he said after launching typo out our investigation and reviewing a growing quantum of evidence, I said, oh boy, it's stirring. It's bubbling. That gumbo is there. So now you're already on the record of shaking these demons out so the proper personnel can do their work. Yeah, I'm spiritual Charleston White. Yep. 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 You want to shoot niggas? You want to kill niggas? You want to rob niggas? You want to do all that kind of demonic stuff? Lock their ass up. Yep. I'm spiritual Charleston White. Fuck it. I don't care. There go my cuss word. I don't care. Okay? Because I got children. All right. And even if I didn't, right? I don't want no smoke. I don't know. I just want peace. I want flowers. I want plants. I want love. Right? I want bubble baths. Right? Right? Leave me alone. Right? I want peace. I want my hookah. Leave me alone. I don't want no smoke. So you want to do things like that? Walk around with Dracos and rob people and shoot people and kill people? Lock them up. Yeah. Okay? Got no problem with it. So now, spiritually, I'm going to aid those empowered with the authority to do it. Yes, I am. All right. All right. So then look what happens when 626 get here. Yes. Now, they're going to tell you that, did I skip a slide? Here it is. They're going to tell you that, hey, look, an earthquake went off on June 27th right here in the St. Louis area. But when you look at the time is actually 8:41 p.m. because it's just over midnight over in London where they keep the master clock. So we got to go a few hours back to Central Time, which puts us in the previous day, which is 626, 8:41 p.m. Central. So the earthquake came on 626. Yes. Is not it 36 degrees north latitude where I told you Vegas was? In chapter 36 in the Quran said Yasin on how to deal with this. Yes. Yes. Did it not happen on the right-hand side, exactly on the left-hand side that we already had boxed off per our instruction? Yes, it did. Yes. Yes. So his brother Yusuf pointed out, he said, bro, he said, you see that? He said the epicenter was 4.9 miles deep because it is Surah 53, verse 49 that says he is the Lord of Sirius. Now listen, the next slides that I'm about to show you is very important to understand this because I don't know if I'm going to walk through all this ever again. I got one good thing to do. Really, I need to be on tour doing nothing but this to wake the people up so we can really get into a zone. That's what I really need to be doing, right? But anyway, you seen earlier the connection to Sirius and the dog star and doing things and things happen. You know historically that this is your star. This is your star. The Quran said it's Allah. Okay? The Dogons of West African say, yo, hey, we come from there. Okay? All right. Watch this. Watch this. So it's 4.9 miles deep. Verse 49 is dealing with Sirius. Watch this. Look at the birth chart. Go to the heavens because in the heavens are signs. Did it not happen at 8:41 p.m. in Grandin, Missouri? Yes, it did. What is at the DC? The DC says 10 degrees Cancer. That's what it says. 10 degrees Cancer. Now, the AC is 10 degrees Cap. Reason I got a star at the AC because 7 degrees Capricorn is a star called what? Vega, as in Vegas. Vega and Sirius are opposite each other. So when we go in on the Syrian ray, yes, as we've proven, at the time of the earthquake, precisely to the degree, the DC, which is the western portion of the sky, west side, is 10 degrees Cancer. Why is that important? Let me show you what the Quran says, how to use the sun and moon as a calculation device. Where is the sun on July the 2nd? Look at Sirius, below the sun on July the 2nd. Noble, you said 626 though. No. Pay attention. I'm going to show you a measurement. On July the 2nd, the sun and Sirius are in perfect alignment and they're crossing the meridian, the green line, together. That's why I got that there to show you that. Yes. So then when you go to an ephemeris and you look on the top left row, it's the sun. Yes. July, you see it in the middle, July 25. Then go to the date. The second is what degree? 10 degrees, 23 minutes, 19 seconds when it is 00 hours over in England where they keep time. Yes? So on July the 2nd, if we want the sun to align with 10 degrees Cancer, that's where it is. And it happens to be in alignment with Sirius. So therefore, when you see the earthquake take place, you see Sirius on the west side. This is real west side Peru. Got to say that right here. Sirius. Okay. All right. Okay. Keep telling you the red, the white, the blue. Woohoo! That's blood and crip on a whole nother level. On a whole nother level when you start getting some understanding about some stuff. But anyway, moving on. So you see Sirius come through. Pinpoint accuracy to the degree. So again, when Yusuf said, hey, it happens to be 4.9 miles deep. Yeah, because verse 49 of the Quran, he says, what? I'm the Lord of Sirius. That's why. Let me tell y'all something. These stars are actually watchtowers. I can prove it in the Quran and show you exactly that. I'm not today. But I'm telling you, they serve as watchtowers. Okay? All right. So what also happened on 626? Did not a meteorite hit McDonough, Georgia on 626? 626 demon remover, we get an earthquake and we get a meteorite. Yes? All right, that happened. You can look into that. So here it is. Why 626? Because 626 means the cliff off the shells and the demons. So you mean to tell me, see, I knew this already. I knew it back in February when I showed you the original post. February, I said 626 prelude demon remover earthquake. I'm going to wait till 626 get here in this timeline reality, and the earthquake is going to happen in this precise area, and it's going to deal with the demons. So if 626 represents demons, and then we see it, then this is just showing you, because it was a prelude, it's showing you how to deal with this spiritually. But you're going to have physical components. It's called law enforcement when you're dealing with certain stuff, right? Okay. All right. And this is no different than attracting a soulmate. You just have to deal with a total different frequency. That's it. That's it. It's all frequencies. That's all it's about. Okay. So I'm showing you. This is really the blueprint. I'm showing you how this works. Okay. You just got to know the other frequency that aligns with your desire. Okay. All right. Let's move on. So you said you was the heavenly messenger of Allah. You said that, brother. I sure did. And here's the proof. Look at the word heaven in green. The total value is 106. Look at the word messenger, which is 290. Added up, you're going to get 462. Added up with Allah, which is 66, you're going to get 462. I take the liberty to go to Patreon. Pay attention to the bottom post where it say Thursday, 5/15/2025. The number came out 264. We read Arabic and Hebrew from right to left. 462. Look at the top post. Well, read inside that post that's shaded out. 5/7. I told y'all to play 462, and the next week my silly self did not play. So the original post said what? Someone play 462 and let me know when it hits. That was the original post. And then the very next week, I had came and said, hey, man, my silly self didn't even play it. And it came out the very next week. This is documented in Patreon. 462 came out. I said, Heavenly Messenger of Allah, 462. The reason I'm telling you to go play is because when it comes out in your reality, then you know who is who. See, that tells me who is who when certain things pop up. Yeah, when certain things pop up, a birth chart, whatever the case, I know who is who, what's what. Like, okay, all right, okay, that's what that is. Yes. So what Juvie say? If I ain't a hot boy, then what you call that? So if I ain't a heavenly messenger, then what you call that? Huh? 462 came out when I said heavenly messenger of Allah. I said, wait till 626 get here. Inshallah, the heavenly messenger of Allah. That's what I said. All right. All right, then, because that's my job. My job is to explain the heavenly layers of the laws of how it works, because Islam ain't going to do it. Christianity won't do it. The Orthodox religion is not going to show you that. Okay. All right. Let's keep on cooking. So now, guess what happened on 5/15 when 462 came out? Where was the moon? Ah! Where's the moon? Is not the moon right there at the galactic center where we said science says, hey, that's the radio. Well, science says, hey, that's the origin of Three-Eye Atlas right there. Hey, we kept on working with this area of space and things kept happening. And then when I say the heavenly messenger of God, play this number, the number comes out in my reality when the moon is right there in that same particular spot. Crown me. With all due respect, with no arrogance, crown me. We got work to do. All right. Moving on. 7/2. We almost to the Atlas timeline. June 29th. You see the post. June 29th. We have a post from 7/2 to 7/4 called Rainbow Beams Activation. Here go another one. Here's a new word from Allah. The light of our covenant is with those that are certain of our signs. The first one said, what? On this day, you would know that this is the truth from your Lord when the earthquake happened. Did it not happen? It happened. Now you're going to do rainbow beams activation, because behind the sun, you see Sirius. Because I just showed you in the astronomy program on 7/2, the sun is perfectly in alignment with Sirius. That day is precise, and then it starts to fade out. Yes. So when you see the rainbow, which is a sign of the covenant, and you working with Al-Nur, Surah 24 in the Quran, when you get some feedback, you're going to know that the light of the covenant from the true and living God today is with the people doing the work. That's showing you this. Just as a testimonial in real time. It don't mean you got to come journey with us. Don't be in opposition. So what happens on this timeline? Remember, back up one, Noble. The post is June 29th. We're going to get busy on 7/2, 7/3, and 7/4. So in a couple days, it's 7/1. Then this comes to the news in forefront. Interstellar visitor, comet 3-Eye Atlas. Now the world is talking about, oh my God, what is it? 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 And everybody got to take on it and have a take on it. I'm proven to already call the area of space from which it comes. I'm proven. And some things I'm just not even saying. Yes? So I'm already proven with the space. And when it comes, we already lining up this area, a different area of space in this timeline reality, July 1st, because this is a special time. We already working with this time to do something. So if the Quran says that we set these things up, these meteorites in these stars as protectors, that's what the Quran says, then you best believe and know, best believe and know, best believe and know, this is the God that back us. See, this don't believe in Sodom. See, how you believe in Sodom and Gomorrah from the old, and brimstone and sulfur is coming down, but you won't call upon it today for God to give you a sign that you're still alive and rocking. All right, then. All right, then. All right. We ain't got to look at my little calendar rendition. All right. So let's move on. What happened on July 3rd? Residents spot striking fire rainbow over Vernon. I said, oh, that's interesting. A fire rainbow. Well, we did rainbow beams. Yes. The phenomenon occurs when sunlight is refracted through ice crystals and what? Cirrus clouds? I'm like, Cirrus cloud? Dude, that's serious. Stop playing. Cirrus clouds. That was the 3rd. So the very next day, I'm leaving my hookah spot, and July the 4th come. I said, no, they ain't gonna believe me. That's why I got a timestamp, 8:16 p.m. I got a timestamp. I said, they ain't gonna believe me. In my reality, a Cirrus cloud was in my reality. Yes, not just to validate that, but again, go back to the flyer. Are we not supposed to be doing this? This is what we do. The light of the covenant is with those that are certain of our signs. Let me tell you something. There's a scripture in the Quran that blows my mind. It says, and we taught Abraham, some translations say the laws of the heaven, but we taught Abraham the heavens, right? The laws of the heaven. So he may be amongst those who are certain. Some translations totally mess it up and say, so he may be certain. No. It don't say that. It says, so he may be amongst those who are certain. Listen, I keep saying it. The prophets got teachers. And the one of my favorites is Qadr, who comes and he teaches Moses. Whoa, Moses as a prophet is being taught by this man who the Quran said he was one of us. Surely we sent one of our teachers. Yeah. All right. So even the prophets got teachers. All right. So anyway, I find it funny that Abraham the OG, who the prophet, peace be upon him, said when he ascended to the seventh heaven, Abraham was there. But Abraham had to study the heavens and get put on game so he can sit among what they call who? The Mukina. See, it's a difference between a believer and a Mukina. You got a believer, you got a Mukina, and you got an Iman. And the Iman is supposed to be inspired by the commands. Oh, we can talk about that. We'll talk about it. So let's move on. Come back to this real quick. February 23rd, 2025. All right. What happens over here? What's the date? Let my cursor move. February 23rd, 2025. Where's the moon? You see the moon's right there. Bookmark it. Radio transmission activation 8/5, 11 p.m. Eastern at night. There's a radio transmission activation. About to dial back in. Yes? All right. What happens August the 6th? Cloud to cloud collision sparks active formation in the Milky Way. Why? This is August the 6th. Go back. Do we not have August the 5th, a day before, doing the radio's transmission? Yes. When I showed you this particular flyer dealing with the sporoidal galaxy, how do we come about? We come about, our whole creation comes about by these two galaxies, sporoidal galaxy, Milky Way galaxy, having sex with one another, creating our sun, creating us. Yes. And when we do that, the energy is here. Okay. Now speed it up. Radio transmission, very next day, cloud to cloud collisions. How we were created, sparks active star formation in the Milky Way. Okay, showing you this. Where's the moon on 8/5? Same spot when we did the sporoidal galaxy activation and then came right back and did it again. That's why. Yes, return of the dog star DMX activation, 8/14, 5:20 local time. Yes. Okay. You got the dog. What do we see? Jupiter, Venus to the right is Sirius. Yes. What did I tell you? Be in alignment with Sirius as it is to the right. In that astro formation I just showed you. You see Sirius in the right here. Yes. We're going to do a dog star activation. on 8/14. What happens on 8/18? DMX was originally supposed to appear on Nas' One Mic. So now you're communicating with the dead. Yeah, All Saints Day. That's what we do. The spirit is ever alive. The spirit is ever alive. So I told him, I said, now watch DMX somehow make the news when we do this. Okay? All right. So what do you see on this radio transmission? Yes, you see starships. It is there. Yes, you see it? You see it? Yes, J Electronica when he came through. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, your ancient ancestors on this. Okay, okay. Let me show and prove. Now, I only put this here as a timestamp because it's August the 14th. Yes, same time we doing the activation. Yes, same day. But earlier that day, something's in the sky. Maybe you can't see it, but I blow it up on the right-hand side. Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. Yes, you see it. It's an object there. I seen it. It came over me. Listen, man, just don't believe in Ezekiel and the wheels. This is a phenomenon. It ain't old. It ain't new. It ain't new, rather. I told you. The Hebrew Israelite on YouTube was doing this, and the news called him out on it. And it came out there. They picked the location. They picked the park. They picked the time of the day. He made prayer. Zoom up. There it is right here. News camera. Called it. Connection to the Most High. Documented. All right. Now, when you look to the right, because you saw in this picture, wait a minute. You see the sunlight in the top left corner, arrow pointing to the black thing. 8/14 is Leo season. When we in Leo season, was about to be in that Leo season, what's happening? To the right puts you in the area going towards Sirius. Okay. All right. 8/14 just so happened to be what? Already posted in the Patreon as the sunrise dog star Egyptian New Year. Already posted in Patreon. And then when 8/14 get here, we got a heavenly visitor from what the Dogons say we come from. Stop playing. So now look at this. Look at the language. Posted August the 18th. I said on the 19th, we're going to have a starship activation. Triangulate from the moon down to Jupiter and to Venus, then over to Sirius. Look at the word triangulate. This is 8/18 posted. We'll do it on the 19th. And then the very next day on the 20th, what do they say? Watch. Weird triangular UFO filmed in Missouri. The earthquake place, the demon shake place. Triangular. Did we not say triangulate just one day before? It gets better. Watch the positron pass. A witness in Missouri captured fantastic footage of a weird triangular UFO that silently hovered in the night. The remarkable sighting shared with the National UFO Reporting Center occurred on the evening of August the 7th. Aha, Noble, it beat you. It was already actually reported August the 7th and not the 14th when you did it, or the 19th when you said so. Yes. Question number one is, why did it come back out the day after? But not only that, if we're going to get technical and we want to look at my schedules are always posted the last day, bare minimum, the first day of the month, bare minimum. First day of the month. Yes. So it was already posted what the work was going to be. Look at 8/19 posted, starship activation, baby. And then come and tell you to triangulate. And then it came back out to triangulate. Okay. All right. August the 7th. Yes. Now moving on to this date, August 26th. Now dig this. August 26th, we tapped into the love frequency. So we did a love challenge that was going to end on 9/19 to activate what I call the lion heart. Yes. All right. What happens on 8/26? Wait a minute. You said 8/26. This is posted already. You said 8/26. You was going to tap into this love energy. What happens on 8/26? Milky Way galaxy central black hole is spinning at a maximum speed and pointing where? To the earth. Whoa. Shout out to Yusuf for sending me that. Are y'all paying attention? Ladies and gentlemen, everything we've been working with is the location in which they say 3i Atlas is from. is a radio signal. We work with this radio signal, got all these results by showing you. And now science is saying, hey, man, the galaxy central black hole somehow is pointing towards the Earth. Well, who is on Earth on record that's always dealing with it in such a very intimate way? And the moment that we tap into the love frequency and publish that, and boom, it's pointing to you. It could have been pointing at any other thing in the solar system, but it's pointing to you. I bet it is pointing to you. Moving on. So now let's go back to this, because on the 15th is when Trump announces he's going to send the National Guard to Memphis. Yes, but we already did Demon Shake already on June 10th. We are 3 months ahead of time on Trump. Yes? All right. So salute to my man AD Anton Daniels from the Detroit. Trump is going to Memphis, not Chicago. But look at the screen. Trump in this interview says, I forget the guy he was talking to. He said, Trump, if you can go anywhere, go to St. Louis. St. Louis has been, and that's why you see the word St. Louis right there in the caption. So when Trump said he was going to Memphis, he said, St. Louis, you just may be next. I bet it is, because we already did Operation Saint for St. Louis and Memphis. And now Trump has went in. Yes. And now what are the people in Memphis doing? You see citizens coming out like, man, my kids can play outside, man. Man, I'm good, man. Thanks, Trump. Good looking. Yes. We 3 months ahead of time. So if you want to scream that the Zionists are controlling Trump on one side, what are we doing spiritually to put the thought form and give him the strength to overcome any negative influences that may be trying to get to him? Because this goes for everybody, world leaders all the way down to the most simplest compound. Okay? All right. Let's move on. Told you we're going to have a good one today. So now on 9/15, where is the moon? Didn't I tell you that I was going to come back? So when Trump makes this order, the moon is here. Yes? Bookmark that. I'll bring it back for you. Where was the moon when I said triangulate? Huh? Is not the moon right here when I said triangulate, and now the moon is here when Trump is going? Huh? When Trump decided to go and do what we already did, and we start working with something else that came over the place in which he was sending the people to clean up. Yes? Where is the moon? Right here at Gemini. Is Trump not a Gemini? Yes, he is. Come on, man. This is how you triangulate. So now, when we look at this, let me blow this up on my side. Gaia discovers giant stellar wave from the Milky Way's center. Hey, this is the same place they keep telling you that I keep telling you what Atlas is from. Yes, Tuesday, September the 30th, 2025. Look at the picture that they use. What did we use the month prior? Did we not use the same imagery of a wave? Yes, you see the sound waves. Yes, I said radio transmissions activation though. So September the 30th. Yes, that's when that story breaks. Yes, okay. What's August the 5th? We saw this. Moon's here. Yes, when we do ours. When we do our radio transmission, August 5th, boom. September the 30th, where's the moon? Alhamdulillah, you can't make this up. You know how fast the moon moves? Are y'all seeing this? The moon happens to be in the same space where it was when we already did the radio transmission. And then when you come out with a story, the moon is in the space corroborating what we already projected out in the ether. The last piece of the equation that Einstein didn't think about was consciousness affects time and space. Or it's fine. He thought about it. It's known as energy. E equals MC squared. Energy. Energy is consciousness. So he got it. Okay. All right. So this is notice 1919154-1313. It is Allah who erected the heavens without pillars that you can see. Then he established himself above the throne and made subject the sun and the moon, each running its course for a specific term. He arranges each matter. He details the signs that you may of the meeting with your Lord be certain. Now, I got a real good question here. So Allah details the signs, and if his signs is in the heavens, yes, his signs is in the heavens. Let's read that last part again. He details the signs that you may of the meeting with your Lord be certain. Then if you can't articulate the signs in the heavens when you meet your Lord, Muslim, especially you Muslim, are you certain? No, you would not be certain. Come on, man. You imagine meeting the big fella. You gonna go meet the big fella, and the big fella says, hey. So you want into Jannah, you want into paradise, as you call it, yes? Tell me about my signs and my communication with the heavens and earth. What's gonna be your rebuttal? What's gonna be your answer to that? If you say you can't get in, if we want to look at it that way, because that's the way you look at it, you can't get into heaven because you didn't even become familiar. You weren't one of the people who knew for certain, but you got an out because the Quran lets you be simply by being a believer. But the ones who know for certain are closer to Allah. That's in the Quran. I didn't know I was going to go here. I should have put that in here. That's there. So you can get in as a believer. But boy, I want to have a conversation, because this right here tells me Allah wants to have a conversation. Let's read it again. He details the signs that you may know of the meeting with your Lord, be certain. Of the meeting with your Lord, be certain. Yes? Oh, so again, what if Allah wants to have a conversation about this? We can't talk about, hey man, you set up our Milky Way galaxy, you created the sporoidal galaxy, and in the Quran, you gave us a specific location. I want to talk about all these things that we call the miracles of the Quran, because I got some great conversation to have with you, Allah. That was beautiful. Man, I found out that which you revealed in Surah 70, verse 4, you said, hey, the angels in spirit, they ascend to us a measure of 50,000 years. That's a precise location. You stop somewhere. There's things further than 50,000. There's things closer to 50,000. There's a location when you did that. I would like to say I know that location and I can prove that location, because when I find that location, Allah, with the sporoidal galaxy, it just so happens to be the sporoidal galaxy and the Milky Way galaxy created our solar system and us. That's what you use to create us, and that's why you put that there. High five. I got it. That's what I want to do when I meet Allah. I don't want to be the ignorant and say that this is shirk, astrology is shirk, and looking at the planets is shirk, and that's bad. And then he tells you his signs is in the heavens and earth. And then he flat out tells you what to be an iman. We raise leaders. Leaders mean iman. I'm going to get to that. We raised leaders among them who were certain of our signs. You have to be certain of God's signs to be an iman. Oh, poor thing. Poor thing. Poor thing. Poor thing. So the Quran says, but nay, I swear by the setting of the stars. Indeed, it is surely an oath if you knew how great. Indeed, it is surely a Quran noble, or noble Quran, in a book well guarded. None touch it but the purified, a revelation from the Lord of the worlds. Then is it this that, I can't see that because I got my cursor right here, that you are indifferent? Yes? Whoa. Here you go, swearing by star. Earlier, we saw you swear by the retreating planets in Surah 81. I swear by the retreating planets. Now you're swearing by the retreating stars. Come on, man. Talk to me. Talk to me. In a book well guarded, none can touch it but the purified. Now, if you want to believe that it's a celestial book in the sky and you can't touch it, that's fine. Because we know one thing, it ain't this book, because anybody can go get it. Anybody can touch it. See, touch means connection. If you go look at the definition for touch, it means connection. It means connection. You can't connect with the Quran unless you have a certain purified mind state. Got nothing to do with no invisible book. You cannot grasp the contents of the Quran unless you have a certain mindset. And it tells you this. You can't even grasp it if you don't even rock with the stars. There's a whole surah called the star. Then there's another one called constellations or galaxies or the zodiac signs, Surah 85, al-Burūj. There's a surah called the moon. There's a surah called the star. There's a surah called light. Come on, man. It's a science book. Moving on. So verily I call the witness the planets that recede or go straight or hide. There it is. He called the witness the planets. Now the planets are witnesses. Here it is right here, Mr. E-Man. And we made from among them, E-mans, leaders, E-mans, guiding by our command, when they were patient and when they were certain of our signs. Whew. You have to be guided by the commands, but 65 verse 12 tells us that the commands flow between the seven heavens and earth. And then in Fusilat 41:12, it tells us that each heaven has its own command. And if you can't tell me what the commands of the heavens or planets are, you're not certain of the signs, you ain't studied the signs, and you ain't inspired by the signs, how can you be E-man? Alhamdulillah for mercy. Alhamdulillah for mercy. Because I'm not saying E-mans are not doing great things by doing the dawah and giving people the light and sharing, and people's lives are not becoming better. Of course not. But what I'm really saying is the Quran says we must go deeper, because the true E-man already knows this. He's guided by it. You should be able to show and prove you are guided by it. Now, here's the thing, what I always pick out about verse 65. That chapter is called divorce. And it's the very last verse in that chapter. And it talks about his command flows between the seven heavens and earth. So I asked a question. If a married couple is about to go through a divorce or going through a hardship and they go to their Iman, would their Iman tell us anything about Allah's command as is related to divorce flowing through these seven heavens? Can you show me anything astrologically, anything in the sky? The Quran also says what? In the heavens is your provision and everything promised to you. Then I say, well, show me my divorce. Show me my wife. Show me my kids. Show me my money. Show me my health. Show me everything promised to me in the heaven. You can't do it because you don't study the heaven. Great disconnect. Great disservice. So the true E-man knows this. He's guided by it, as the Quran says. Okay? All right. So what did you see as truth? You saw 626 demon remover. On that day, you shall know that this is a sign from your Lord, and it happened in real time. What did you see? The light of our covenant is with those that are certain of our signs. The same time you doing this, we send from the same location, dealing with the earlier revelations that you seen, dialing into that spot that, hey, 3-Eye Atlas is from this location. 3-Eye Atlas is 39 because I is the 9th letter. So now we have to understand, wait a minute, what is 39? I find it interesting in 13:39, it says Allah eliminates what he wills or confirms. And with him is the mother of the book, the Kitab. I've already proven that this is talking about the Milky Way galaxy. Okay? All right. So now let's come back over here. Let's come back over here. Let me put some proof to this. Remember when Trump was going to Memphis, the moon was right here on 9/15/2025. Yes. Told you to bookmark it. What happened? Look right here. When we was dealing with the NAACP banishing that energy. Huh? What's going on here? Where is the moon? The moon is right here to the right of the sun by Orion's arm. Huh? You see it? Right here. The moon is in the same vicinity where Trump does his work. When we go do this work dealing with the negative energy, huh? It's right here. What happens right here? We remember this when they want the petition to come off the Confederate things to come off of the Stone Mountain. Where's the moon? Is the moon not in Sagittarius? the home of the what? Sporoidal galaxy and Milky Way galaxy, the area of space that deals with what? Three-Eye Atlas comes from. Yes. Why? Because on this day, today, as you see here, just moving on. Let me think I went too fast. Hold on. Purpose of this, again, just showing you as a timestamp, when we did this work in Atlanta, the moon was in this spot that you just now saw us do in 2024. I started this slide with the Galactic Center, God is a Radio, and started showing you proof in 2024. In 225. This trip is 2013. 12 years ago. So 12 years ago, when we doing that, the moon is in this region of space, because 12 years later, we'll be coming back in this area doing boom, boom. You feel me? That's what you call being guided. Okay. The God, listen, the Mahdi Hadith means guide. Okay. All right. What my man Sheikh Sufi say? I said, Sheikh, who or what is the Mahdi to you? He said, brother, after watching your videos, you the Mahdi. Listen, I ain't here to say that. What I'm here to tell you is this. What the Quran says, the heavenly commands flow, and you are to be guided by that. That's in the Quran. You guided by the seas. The stars guide you on seas and guide you on land. That's in the Quran. Guide is Hadi, which is the root word for the Mahdi. The Mahdi is this figure that's supposed to come back in the end times with Jesus Christ. Supposedly. They don't even know what that is. All right. Trust me when I tell you that. All right. But we know what it is. All right. So again, we pointing out this region because this is today. This is where Three-Eye Atlas is today. Pointing out this region. Why is that important? Because what a coincidence on 10/14 through 11/6, yes, which encompasses today, yes, we started working with the Venus key, unlocking peace, love, and wealth. Because the Quran says in the heavens is your provision and everything that's promised to you. Yes, because Venus today is in the same perfect alignment with Three-Eye Atlas right now. So we're already on this frequency, working with this, because we're working with the Venus key. So salute to those that's doing the work. All right. So give you an example of how the heavens work. I'll block her name out. For my September and October reading, you stated that my pregnancy portal is open. I was doing Ramadan, but felt under the weather. Something told me to stop. I was consuming a lot of dates. Lo and behold, I am pregnant. Your readings are accurate. Thank you. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. May y'all be blessed and have great prosperity. Yes. That's when the Quran says that Iman is inspired in chapter divorce. That must be related to relationships. If it's related to relationships because you revealed it in divorce, that your commands flow from the heavens, and then you tell us in a whole nother chapter that, hey, everything is in the heavens and the earth. I should be able to see your children in the heavens and the earth. And when I saw it in this sister's chart in her heavenly body, yes, when I seen it in the heavens for her, I said, if you're doing it like that, and that's what y'all doing, okay, be ready, because this can happen. And lo and behold, she's pregnant. Okay? That's because that's Quran, man. That's Quran. All right? So I got a little message from y'all, from my classmates. Man, I love this class. This class is the bomb. Salute to y'all that's here. My Sunday class is rocking. Rocking. All right. I got a little message from the classmates that want to tell y'all something. All right. So let me load it up real quick. See, they ain't know. They don't know I be on them. Yes.
Just really been thinking about everything we talked about in the Sunday class, and it's just that was a really good, really good class.
It really was. I felt the same way, Eric. I thought it was almost like a therapy session.
Honestly, like I
Alhamdulillah.
literally had to sit in silence for like a good hour.
Oh wow.
Or like 30 minutes to an hour after prayer. I'm like, God, Lee, like, wow, like this is crazy. I want to call him back. Have another class right now.
Yeah, I was like, I felt like everybody was like dropping gems like a Sufi. Like everybody had their Sufi hat on that day. I was like, wow.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
It was very beautiful. I said so too.
All right. So great class that we had Sunday, man. I love that, bro, man. You know, it's my goal. I'm gonna tell my goal. I'm publicize my goal. He don't even know this is my goal because I love this, bro. He gonna get married on this watch. You Garrett, watch and see. That's my forecast. Watch and see. Pure spirit, brother. It's been a long time since I've seen somebody like this. You know what I mean? Love you, bro. So look, here goes some workbooks, right? This new one is coming out first week of the month. Inshallah, hopefully I can get it together by Sunday and whatnot. But the first week of the month is called Solar Diet of Light Workbook. All right. This is important stuff. All right. I think so. The lost initiation of the 13th sign. All right. We're talking about activating your body of light. There's a science to this. The Quran knows this science. This is why Quran specifies light upon light. Okay. There's a science to it. The picture in of itself should show you what it's about. Okay. Then I already got something in the Patreon, been there for a couple years now, probably about 2 years, least a year. Money Magic Synchronicity Journal, daily techniques to manifest money. Okay. Need to really update some stuff. And the reason why I have that there, ladies and gentlemen, is because you're going to have to put the work in somewhere at some point in some time. Like Minister Jew was talking earlier, he was saying, man, they spotted some type of albino creatures, and people were saying, hey, it's from the 8th dimension, it's from the woo. And he said, man, people are so spiritually gullible because they rather just jump around from subject matter versus sitting their ass down and really focusing on something, having a discipline that may take weeks or months, maybe even years to really master and embody. The work that I do, honestly, what I showed you today is just the Kavod Elohim. That's the glory of the living God. I don't come out and play with that and I only do that so the people today can understand. And when I get the command, listen, I showed y'all stuff all the way back from 2010 when it first started. It then showed you 2013. So this is 12 and 15 years ago. It is a known fact that I took a break and went off into real estate, and I'm really just now coming back, but I'm not coming back to keep on doing that. Boom, 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 boom. That comes by the command. I don't play with that. The work is the transformation of the heart. So if you paid attention to the presentation and you start doing this heart work, that all of a sudden say, hey, the galaxy somehow is pointing at the earth. It is talking about a major surge of energy. Listen, my whole thing, along with showing you what I showed you, is don't get caught up in the fear aspect of things, because that stops contraction. That stops expansion. Fear is restriction and constriction. So it stops expansion. So don't get caught up into that narrative. Figure out a way to work with principles that best suits your personality, because I'm not going to fit everybody. I got people who rock with Jew and they rock with Jew only. I got people who rock with me, they rock with me only. I got people who rock with both. We got people who don't rock with us at all because they think we quacks and crazy. Yes? So you're going to have them all far and in between. I understand that. Yes? All I'm saying is find something that works. And I promise you this. No, I'm promising this. Come on into this Patreon, but you have to make a request. Say, bro, I'm really interested in your Sunday class. And it's absolutely is what we would call Sufism for sure. Absolutely. Mystical Islam. But man, listen, when you see working with Venus and doing simple stuff. Some stuff I can't even tell you because you got to do every single day. But man, like I say it, and I say it all the time. And I give you one here. I say it all the time. Don't you go a Friday. Don't you dare miss a Friday at sunset if you in a relationship or you not in a relationship. But especially for those in a relationship, don't you dare miss a Friday sunset without giving appreciation and prayer with your significant other. Don't you dare do it. Because I'm going to tell you something. You want to know why Jewish people are so successful? One of the things is the role of the woman. And see, in Judaism, a woman lights the candle on Friday, 18 minutes before sunset, and brings in the Sabbath and calls the Shema, calls the prayer over the light, and then cover her eyes so the light, the words in the light, and then the heat of that light gets in the imprints of the hand, and then cover the eyes so that can embody this. What you see on that picture, embody that at sunset. It's a particular reason why that's like that. The sunset represents the seventh house, which represents the house of marriage. Okay? So the feminine principle is actively at work in the Jewish culture that makes them successful. All right? So you cannot miss that. So the things that I'm talking about is bringing us back into harmony with the creation. Everybody knew this. We the only ones that's walking around here in America like, I don't know. That don't work. You're talking about chakras and astrology and stuff. Yet these books is really talking about that, especially the Quran. It's clear, right? And then it's like, what? Every indigenous culture knows it. Every single one. Like, what? The sky, man. It's like basically it's like a sky god, but it's not the god. But in essence, we know that God communicates through these cosmic principles of cosmology and space and time. That's what they're saying at the end of the day. And there's an intricate relationship with that and the human being. Everybody knows this. It is the three religions that have the political aspect of religion has stigmatized and created a problem. The book itself is absolutely telling you the truth about these things. And this is what I love about Bible. And this is what I absolutely love about Quran, when you know how to look at it. Okay. All right. So love to see you in the Patreon, and on the Astro Reports, that $75 tier just opened up. You got some people who fell out, right? They probably missed the payment or whatever. I don't know. But, you know, when those spots come open, you better grab them. All right. So you want to get into that. All right. Every month at the end of the month, like I got my last quotas today, you get a forecast for the upcoming month. And the goal is simple. It is, one, to let you know how to balance the male female energy in your life, because that means here comes some friction, or it's just a great time to do it. Two, code red, hey, be on point, right? Because more of the malefic energy is trying to creep in. So be on point during this particular timeline. Yes. And when that money is flowing, and when is the moon at a position? Because the Quran says in the heavens is your provision, everything promised to you. That's what the Quran says. So the money sector of space, you got to be there somewhere. When the moon gets in the money sector of space, for this 2-day, 3-day window, this is a time that you really want to do two things. You ready? You want to be spiritually active as possible in embodying the principle in the heart, in the being of which you're reflecting, or which you want to grab, what you want to get. Say abundance, yes? And physically walk it out. Meaning, if I'm into real estate and today is my money moon time, what real estate events are going on today? Oh, there's a real estate meetup tonight at this bar. They networking and invest, all right, cool. Let me go over there and meet some investors, because it's my money moon time. So now my physical actions is mirroring my prayer and my thoughts at this precise gateway. Don't sleep on that. All right. You see me call the child was coming into a being. Nothing's greater on this earth than another soul coming into this reality. Nothing supersedes that. Okay. And that's a science, as you just saw. All right. So you can go to the Patreon. You can hit that tier. It's only a few slots that's open because a couple people fell out. You better grab it. Okay. Or if you're in the Patreon and you want to upgrade, now's your time. All right. All right. Any questions? Comments? Sorry I took long. What is this, man? Almost, yeah, it ain't even a 3-hour conversation, 15 minutes short of 3 hours. I had to take my time today. How did y'all enjoy it? Let me know. Comment in the chat if you got a question. I'd love to answer it, whatnot. Thank you. You know, I thank you for your time. I thank you for listening. I did good. I only think I said one curse word, real bad curse word in a sense. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. See, I'm gonna get off the subject matter, man, because I'm moving on. As my son said when he was little, he used to always eat pizza. And he was like, I had him on the track playing around, and you're like, I don't eat pizza no more. I eat hot wings. I'm moving on to bigger and better things. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm moving on, man. I'm moving on. We will do the work when the call comes to do the work. But I'm really, I really want to tackle something big, and that is bringing more love and prosperity into our lives and balancing out that Venus principle, man. When the Egyptians walked around with that Ankh, the key of life, that happens to be the symbol for Venus that we use. So the key of life is Venus. You know why? Because it rules two primary things that are very important in our reality. Money, which is the exchange of commerce, right? Valuables. We always had it, gold, whatever the case may be, trade, and relationships. You know what I'm saying? This could be business partners, relationships, and or this could be marriage relationships. Okay. So that principle is a very important question. All right. All right, Sankofa, quantum irony. I found a write-up that has said that in 1977, a 72-second radio signal was picked up coming from Sagittarius constellation. I'm gonna have to find that because in 77, that's my year. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to look into that. That's interesting. That's the year that Chiron was discovered as well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I'm gonna have to look into that. I didn't know that. You know what I mean? Everything is everything. Appreciate you. Nikki Love 621. What's going on? Dr. Quantum. Say we dropping Jews. Yeah, if y'all got one, put it in here. Again, love to have you on Sunday. And after Sunday, we do Salat prayer together. You know what I'm saying? We literally we do the Salat prayer, do the call of prayer, and then we literally do the prayer together and whatnot. You know what I mean? And then Tuesdays we have an Arabic class, and they already look. They only been at it for a month. In 1 month, I convey the information in a way that in 1 month's time, they're already reading words and transcribing chapter 97 all over again. Those 5 verses that I did before, they're putting it in their own words. So I can throw a word up on the screen in Arabic and they can tell you what that word is. So I can throw a sentence which is just made up of words, and then they can break down that sentence and tell you what that is in just 4 weeks. And I'm nowhere near. I'm a always be a beginner in Arabic because it's a lot of rules in Arabic. You got all these dots and all this, but when you get to the core, it's a 3-letter root word. That's all it is. It's a 3-letter root word. That's it. Once I get that definition and know how to look at words and put them in a dictionary, then I know how to look up words. So now I know how to translate without knowing how to speak it prolifically and all that stuff. No, that immediately takes you into the inner meaning, the dimension of what the word is in just 4 weeks. All right. Where we at? Oh yeah, you mentioned books. What books? What books you talking about? The book is you. You the book. What book? What book you talking about? You said books. Let me take this off. Books. What are the books? What books? And I remember book. I ain't quoting no book. I don't even be quoting books. But what's the book? Yeah, talk to me. Everything is everything. What books? I thought someone asked about a book earlier. I I see that B on your thing. Yeah, I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar with a book. Anybody know what you're talking about? A book. I know I didn't get reference to a book. I don't think. Yeah, I really don't know. Everything is everything. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. I'm about to go see what Sankofa John talking about real quick. We should throw the moon in and see where it was that day. See if we can find that story real quick. 1977, 72-second radio signal. 1970 72-second radio signal. Boom, boom, boom. Wow. The signal 72 signal radio burst detected on August 15th, 77. By the Big Ear Radio Telescope at Ohio State University. Big Ear Radio Telescope. August 15th, 77. Yes. Let me go to an ephemeris real fast. August 15th, 77. August 15th, 77. August is here. 15th is here. The moon. Oh, that was a full moon that day. No, a new moon. It was a new moon in Leo that day. Wow. New moon in Leo. Aha. That's pretty dope. That's pretty cool. New moon in Leo. That'll be around the same region where the full moon was on that Lincoln activation. You know, as far as the moon location, I don't know where the radio signal came from though. I just know the moon's location. Oh no, okay, yeah. So no. The mother of the book is a saying in the Quran. Good looking. That's a saying in the Quran. The mother of the book though is the cosmos. It's the galaxy. Hence the Milky Way mother, the milk. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the mother of the book. I think I've showed it in one of these presentations. I gotta go back and look. Because I was telling Jews, like, man, you ain't gonna believe this, bro. This is it's the Milky Way. And I've been told them the mother of the book is the Milky Way galaxy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the mother of the book, the Kitab, is the Kitab is with us. You know what I mean? So it's the laws. That's the book. So it is a celestial book. It's the laws in which the heavens sit in and everything. And over it, in the Quran, it says, and over it is 19. Yes, which is really talking about a metonic cycle when the moon and sun line up every 19 years. That's the law. So that's the mother of the book. It's talking about these laws. All right. All right. Do we fight for seasons of relief only? Yeah, we do. Balancing all things, we do. You know, that's the battle. Being in the West, you know, being in Western culture, your culture, you know, anything outside of them temples, man, anything outside of that monastery lifestyle, anything outside of that hermitage, you know what I mean? You got to give props to the Catholic Church when they have a building that, you know, their priests and them will live in that building. They live on the campus so they can just be immersed in the word of God to the best of their ability versus being out in society. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, when you out here in the world, we are really fighting for seasons of relief. You know what I mean? For real, for real. You know what I mean? So it's a thing to balance, hence your name. You know what I mean? So you got to build your world in a way that gives you the most balance as you see fit. Because some people is balance being crazy. You know what I'm saying? Some people are not. You know what I mean? All right. So you say noble God being all. Why does it seem God is at war with God's self through good and evil to strengthen both forces eternally through conflict and contrast, a war that can never be won and done? Now let's go upstairs. Here we go. Because I was going to say something about this earlier. And I said it was going to be too esoteric, but I think I was talking to regular Muslims because they had never understand this. So this is a very great question, right? Because see, it is absolutely idolatrous to blame Shaitan for something, a devil for something, when Allah is supposed to be the author of everything. So then that means now we come to a question like this. Well, it seems that God is being all, yes, which the Bible confirms this and say, I, God, create good and I create evil. Yes, I, God, do all these things. So the Bible confirms this. Stop blaming the devil. Job does a wonderful job, the best job to me. And he says his wife is like, hey, don't curse God. And he like, you sound stupid. Like, why would I curse God? Like, the good is from God and the bad is from God. I ain't playing with no devil. Like, I already know what this is. This is all God. So now we should come to this question. God being all, why does it seem that God is at war with God's self through good and evil to strengthen both forces eternally through conflict and contrast? Question. A war that can never be won and done. Now, I think the war can be, I think it can be done. Yes. Oh, I lost myself. All right. So I think it can be done because anything is possible in reality for sure. Right. That's the purpose right there. That's the purpose. On one side of the ledger, man's capability is to fulfill that prophecy in Isaiah, where you come into Jerusalem and it's going to be heaven on earth. You have that potential. Now, you can have a supreme Buddhist, Tibetan, rainbow body, global earth citizen. I asked Blue Pill the question. Remember, I asked him and I said, hey, if God came out today or, and said, hey, everybody, listen up, speak, what would you say? What would you command? Right? In that type of scenario, right? Imagine world governments telling their citizens, and just don't even tell them, let's just say all citizens are on board as the way overwhelmingly majority, that at the same time, no matter what time it is, now it's going to be early morning for some, it's going to be late at night for some, it's going to be in the evening for others, it's going to be perfect for some and not so perfect for others. But at the same time, you're just going to have to set your alarm clock. As global citizens, you are going to pray at the same time in your language of gratitude and thanks. Just that one thing alone. And I'll give you a coordinate point. You would do it, let's just say, if you did it even once a month on a full moon, because the timing of a full moon is some people are going to see the sun and other people are going to see the moon. That's a fact. All of us don't see the same thing at the same time, but we will see two things, one of two things at the same time. That's a fact. So these people going to be on moon. These people going to be on sun. Get up. Get up. Yes. As the call to prayer says, hurry to prayer, hurry to prayer, hurry to success, hurry to success. And everybody prays at the same time. So now the overall reflection of humanity is elevated in the God state, sort of like Atlantis in a sense, without going, the legend is, without going rogue on technology. Sort of like the land of Mu, Lemuria, without going rogue on technology. We're talking about a highly advanced civilization that is now in the most appreciative state of being ever, because we realize there's only one true God anyway. We're not arguing with who you call God. We're not invading you. In fact, you have the ability to understand, well, if I have weapons, that means I'm going to have to use a weapon. But if I get rid of all the weapons, nobody can invade nobody. So everybody is running around here scared, shitless, scared. China is expecting one day, if America invade, this is what we got for you. America is saying, hey, One day, if you invade, this is what we got for you. If everybody get rid of all weapons, then there is nothing to invade with but this. Okay? So get rid of all the weapons, because the weapons mean that you can use them in defense and offense, especially offense. If there's no offense, there's no defense. And if there's no offense, a rogue person, a warmonger, can't go invade somebody. So you have that potential as a human being. See, the real test is this in consciousness. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's the ultimate game right there. See, again, you say that you believe, but your actions as a global citizen show that you don't believe. So you don't see the Muslim countries getting together, and you don't see the Jews. When I played that video earlier, and that Jew said, man, listen, Allah is Elokai. The Muslims and the Jews had the same God. So you don't see the Jewish community coming up and saying, hey, we don't like what this Zionist state, this doesn't represent the Jewish people. We had enough of this. This stops today. You don't see that. You don't see the Pope who runs Christianity says, hey, all Christians get in formations. I'm in line. I'm in alignment with the Muslim imam. I'm in alignment with the Jewish rabbi, right? And we all step in the government and we say, hey, when you swore in, sir, you swore in on the Bible. You believe in the Quran as your law. And since we believe in the same God, and our God don't want us doing this because we all supposed to be children of God, everybody destroy their weapons at the same time, and everybody start praying to the God that they say they believe in at the same time. So it's possible. And so since it's possible, guess what? You have to do it to make it possible, because that's what God does. He makes all things possible. So it's an experience that we have to have of this inner fight that's going to take place. But you can go to the extreme side of the pole, and you can go to the other side of the pole and whatnot. But you have that ability to get it. You see what I'm saying? Because see, something happens when you go to the extreme side of positivity, and it's called Jesus Christ. It's called the Christ consciousness. It's called the transfiguration of Christ. You see what I'm saying? Something magnificent happens. You see what I'm saying? That's of a benefit. So it's best to have, see, sometimes the ratio ain't about 50-50, man. Don't fall for that. It's not about 50-50. That is not how God sees reality. I'm telling you that. God sees reality. When you look at man, woman, XY chromosome, man is quantitative. Millions, some say a billion, millions of sperm cells in you, sir. Lady, one egg for you. She's qualitative. He's quantitative. It ain't apples for apples. It's apples and oranges. That's balance in this reality. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't 50-50. When you look at the land to the sea ratio, it's 70-something% to 20-something percent. When you look at the human body, its composition of all the water weight that it has, it's an overwhelmingly majority of the water weight. You understand? So 50-50 is not it. It's not it. There's a different type of balance that has to take place. And you can see, listen, when you just even Steven, you normal. Ain't nothing normal about God. You just an average person. To be great, to be Kobe Bryant, to be Michael Jordan, to be great, you go to the extreme end of the pole. What happens though? You may sacrifice certain things though. You may find out that, I stopped eating this, that was good. And sometimes good things happen when sometimes you sacrifice good things that you may regret too. And Joe Jackson and didn't have a loving relationship with his children, but he made them great. Serena and Venus, Richard, from what I see and understand, it wasn't like this fun, loving that. No, work your ass off, which is what you're doing, and you made it. Now you can have fun because it paid off. You millionaires now. Have all the fun you like because you can afford it. That's what I did it for. It was a very Saturn type of principle. No fun, none of that Leo Sunny stuff. Work, get up, pick up them bricks, Do this. Boom, 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 boom. Saturn, 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 Saturn. But it didn't produce greatness. But that was a sacrifice at the cost of love. And, you know, so you got to find your expression of love. One is not better than the other. But there's results that one brings, though. You feel me? So you have to find your frequency. So the battle is a battle, absolutely. But we have the potential. And once you have potential, it's a wrap. You got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. So he fights himself to bring about the utopia of heaven on earth. That's the fight. You know what I mean? Everything is everything. Gotcha. I'm gonna get you situated. Inbox me on the Patreon. Inbox me, just sign up. Get everything is everything a black hand, right? Inbox me on the Patreon, the birthday and city of birth and time of birth. Make sure to include AM or PM. Okay. Johnny Williams, what's going on, bro? How would you get people to focus less on who the Holy Land belongs to, since that battle is covering the true message that unifies the people of the book? Again, give me the God screen of the universe. Here's the thing. This is what we already have. You have the Western Wall that Jews go to. The Christians come through there, and the Christians really go to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre over there. And then you got Al-Aqsa, right? Masjid Al-Aqsa, and the Dome of the Rock is right there as well. So you already got a place of where it where people come and worship. So this is what we're going to do with this space right here. We're going to we're going to put it under the control, either two things. One, the United Nations has it, and maybe it's a World Heritage Site, and who controls that? But let's say we can give it to the United Nations, and it's nobody that is in political control in a sense. Or what we're going to do is we're going to treat it like a business venture. In these three religions, we are going to all be on the trust. We put it in the trust, but it's going to be a third, and third. So everybody has a third of it, and everybody has their section of it. Period. That's how that goes. Just like I really think that the old Moorish castles that now are under Christian domain, man, listen, bare minimum, they should be deeded as a joint ownership with the Muslim community, with the Muslim religion body politic. Bare minimum. So you deed it like a business transaction, and everybody is a third partner. Period. That's what it is. You see what I'm saying? So you do it that way. Well, I clean them up if I was over. Boy, that's what got to be done. All right. Also, have you heard about 45th, 47's plan to build the Triumph Arch over the Lincoln Memorial? No, I ain't heard. I ain't hear that, man. He gonna build it over the Lincoln Memorial? Nah, man. He infatuated with Lincoln. You know how Trump is, man. Like I tweeted Trump, man. You know, hey, man, you wanna do it? Trump. Now I'm gonna do a message to Trump again. The only way that you gonna tie Lincoln shoes and outdo my man Lincoln, and I want you to do it because I believe in evolution. You're gonna have to create that 51st state. So there was a thing where years ago Trump had proposed to do 10 futuristic cities by buying federal lands. You make these lands the 51st district. Okay, they can be anywhere in the United States, but you make them the 51st district. Members of the 51st district, as a part of, let's just say, the horrible stain of slavery reparations, let's just say there is a tax benefit. There's no federal income tax. There's no tax on this particular person in this district. Let's just hypothetically say you are given a new 51st state FICO score, and it automatically starts at 700 in a sense. You get what I'm saying? And so then you start building from there. Or maybe it's like when Trump had put in the what's that law that was really good for us investors? Opportunity zones, where it's like, hey, if you hold your business, you create your business and you hold for 10 years, then you don't have to pay no federal income tax. But if you hold for 5, you pay a lesser fee. You hold for 7, it'll be a lesser fee than that. So when you hold it for like a decade or more, then it's going to be nothing. We don't want no money off your capital gains because we understood you kept your business right here. So we want to incentivize. So perhaps maybe it's a term of time and you're not tax-free forever. It's a term of time that you rock with. The only way you're going to beat Lincoln is to do something of a 51st district, because you can't build no state. I shouldn't say can't. You can do anything you want to do. But what's going to happen is people going to complain that Chicago and Illinois is too violent and it's too cold up north, and people going to say Florida is too hot and they don't like palm trees and blue oceans. So people will always find a reason to complain. So what you do is either you buy lands and or each city adopt a 51st district, like you got Chinatown and things of that nature. And within the 51st district, there's certain perks that come in it, as you know, what let's call reparations, something like that. You feel me? All right. It's Aquavision. You know what I mean? All right, man. So I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. We've been on here long, man. I appreciate y'all. I really do, man. Subscribe. Make sure you check out the Patreon if you ain't in the Patreon. It's only $20, man. You know what I mean? Sunday class is the best class, man. For real. That's my baby right there. Love to have you over in the Golden Heart work. If interested, man, you can shoot me an email, nobleampu@gmail.com, and I can give you an introduction of what that looks like, and then you can make a decision to come into Patreon and coming from the Sunday class from there. Again, nobleampu, as you see on the screen, at Gmail. All right. We're gonna end this with my prayer adiyat. It's probably right now, man. Qadr I used to love, man, but I'm on Surah 81 right now. Is my favorite. This is probably my third favorite surah. And if you really understood what this is about, this is all about the home where Atlas, Three-Eye Atlas came from. If you really understood, maybe you can catch it if you pay attention to the words in English. All right. Quran, you have no idea, man. The Quran, you have no idea, but it showed you, hey, what the Quran tell you? We use these stars as missiles to go against the evil ones. All right, man. I get what y'all. See y'all next week.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wal 'adiyati dabha, fal muriyati qadha. فالمغيرات صبحا فأثرن به نقعا فوسطن به جمعا إن الإنسان لربه لكنود وإنه على ذلك لشهيد وإنه لحب الخير لشديد أفلا يعلم إذا بعثر ما في القبور وحصل ما في الصدور إن ربهم بهم يومئذ لخبير